putty-like ooze.
We are live.
Ah, good. Like I said, in the back side of the room is this large creature, almost skeletal. Across its body is the same black putty-like ooze that connects all of the different machine-like bones that protrude out in jagged and inconsistent ways. From its back protrudes what seems to be a splay of razor blades. That then its whole back undulates and it pushes these long spires out from its back that then hold the splaying blades down off of it, draped like two gross wings. The generally flat face it had of what was just a bunch of the same kind of metal pieces just kind of slated on top of it themselves tend to start flaying out and contorting into what seems to be a long, grotesque, sharp snout. And then it coughs oily, slick goo. Avern goes, I'm not going to stay in here. I'm going to try to figure out a way to lock this back up.
Make it quick. We don't have much time.
Ekern, whose hex rod is in that initial first slot, and then hovering above it, goes as his eyes dart around, and the light every now and then pieces out from him, and then swirls up from the bottom, and then starts to dissipate outwards from him. He goes, you guys might want to make some time. It's going to take me a little while. I'm having a hard time connecting in. I'm fine. And thanks you guys for getting me a new hex rod. But this whole place is gone to poop.
Do you remember what our positions were before this thing started coming out? Because I think I was in there with Ekron.
Close. You're close by. It's like you and Zendira were both going over there, getting the hex rod to the spot, which is why the big thing caught eye of you. Is it awoken?
If I remember right, hadn't Ilix kind of jumped through an opening to the side to get close to the...
I believe so. Yeah, you all have like spread out into there like, oh, we gotta keep these things from like getting out of this doorway.
Basically, right now we're just damage control until Ekron can do his thing. Right.
Because somebody's going to burn it with fire.
All right, so what do we do?
I suppose we do what the man said. We burn it with fire.
Yeah, Averin goes, that's a good thing. They don't like fire. I will try to figure out how to shut these doors. I guess you have time. I need to look through these hex rods on the ground and see which ones I can use.
Does it appear to have anything that looks like it could be some kind of a ranged weapon?
A ranged weapon?
Yes.
It looks like some gross dragon now. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
This like six-limbed, two weird, gross, dripping wings. This long snout.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, no, that is just insulting.
It is, yeah. It's gross looking.
I do see the familial resemblance now that you mention it, yes.
Sheer McGlare.
A grotesque mockery of resemblance.
Okay, so real quick, can we think of any reason why I only have 36 hit points instead of 45?
Everybody
Not
gets a
hitting
long
long
rest because
rest.
it's easier for me. It'll be easier for me to figure it to keep this nice.
Okay. Okay. Um,
And has everybody adjusted their volume for the bot in the chat?
ooh,
Go ahead and just bring
I
it
haven't
really down.
adjusted to what it was before, but I wasn't in here when the music was going, so I don't know if I need to change it from
10%,
that.
10 to 15% worked well for
Yeah.
me.
So just give it on.
That was loud, huh?
I adjusted it up because I assumed I couldn't hear anything.
No,
Matt said 10%. As I clicked it, you turned it on, so I got like a half a second blast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got it way down now.
Yeah, like that's why I was just prepping everybody before I turned back on so it didn't blast anybody in the ears.
Oh.
It was like really quiet when I clicked on it in YouTube, and then it like immediately hit some epic music right off the bat. So
Gotcha. I'm good now.
everybody here getting pumped, just not sitting there blasting your ears into pieces. All right. He goes, "I need to buy time," and Soros looks around and is like, "Birdman, do you have mana potions?" I'll find something. He's like picking up rods and he's just like, no, that's not gonna work. These are fucking stupid.
Boys, on me. I'm gonna go ahead and channel divinity and use Twilight Sanctuary. So as an action, you present your holy symbol, and the sphere of twilight emanates from you. The sphere created on you has a 30-foot radius and is filled with dim light. It moves with me. It lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or die. Whenever the creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant the creature one of the benefits. You can grant 1d6 plus 6 temporary hit points, or you end one effect on it, causing it to be charmed or frightened.
What does your Twilight Spirit look like, or does it matter?
Well, it's just a sphere, so it's like a dim lighted dome that kind of shimmers like moonlight around me in a 30-foot radius. So it's like it's almost shining down, but the shine comes from the dome itself. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like that ethereal moonlight night look.
Yeah, you show your Holy Spirit. Good nice little dome that pops up.
Can you move your mic closer to your face? It's very bassy. There we go. Yeah.
Now start chewing on it and we can be an ASMR stream.
Oh gosh, please no.
It says that everybody with a microphone goes over and moves it and licks on it.
I just did a mukbang for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
That right there makes a lot of money on Twitch.
There you go. There you go.
Gross. So, let's go ahead and get an initiative order.
All right.
Ooh.
So as we're doing this, when I see well, let's roll initiative.
Yeah, you guys can do whatever you want
I have
right now.
Why is my
not
initiative so
right
bad?
Mine's a 9.
It went
Oh,
from
no.
17 on the dice to 3.
I
5
got,
total.
I got an 8.
Oh, this is not good. This is really not good.
Oh my god.
So I gotta see this.
Y'all
Oh,
scared.
shite.
Y'all
Oh,
scared.
no. Are you saying the healer's going first?
With a 9, yes.
Oh, no.
Good.
Sure, we got what? 9, 8, 6, 5.
We need a 7. We
The
just need a
closest
7.
thing we have to a frontliner goes last.
Oh, gosh.
As we're rolling initiative, real quick, I fish in my bag and I give our friend who's trying to put the potions together my Maryland grass, hoping he can use it as a base.
He's like, I can synthesize this. He places it down. He's like, gentlemen, and he picks a hex rod up. He goes, "Don't do this at home." And he kind of puts his like winged hand over the top, and he's like, he puts one of his foots on the bottom half. He's like, and he cracks the sumbitch open. And you see the whole thing around his hand start to glow real red, and then it starts to spray out, just kind of like a soft light that's like hot. And he's like, ah, 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 ah. And he just like almost like he pours it down on this thing, shakes a bit, and starts to glow and melt the thing that it's pouring onto. And then he comes out and it's this soft silver liquid. He's like, I need vials. Does he have? Oh, starting equipment. He has a few vials. So then he goes and he dips a few down in there. He's like, all right, Rose. And he goes, who else needs magic? Magic. He's just like tossing. Grabs one of the vials. Wah. And his thumb lights on fire. Wonderful.
This fucking guy. All right, big guy, with the rules and all that. Remember that fire thing you were doing? Why don't you do it again?
No problem. He cracks his lips. Just don't be too close. And he kind of shakes his vest off. And then it gets really warm. Just warm in your sphere as he goes to step out of it. As he steps down, it kind of the oily slickness on the ground starts to dry up in the area. As he starts to kind of grow just a teeny bit. He's like, if you thought magic was what I use the most. As he begins to rage, he starts to flame around him.
I would like to flame rage.
I would like to flame rage.
Ooh, this sounds like a storm herald.
Yeah.
He is a barbarian of the wildfire.
Oh.
Oh, good. Well, this is handy. Maybe we can channel some of that barbarian rage in a useful direction this time, unlike last time, in which case,
And like
kind of got us
and
all
like
into this
all-
mess.
And like all of the roses are sorcerers as well. They have an innate family magic.
All right. So where is he on the initiative order? Oh no. Oh no.
10.
Ah, this guy. All right, so he goes before me, and okay, so all right,
He rolled way
So it's Mr. Rose, and then Drax, Zendira, Grins, Elix.
Averin rolled pretty high. He has a 18.
Okay. What about
Everything happens in between. Everything else happens in between. I have.
I was like,
Oh.
so Averin goes, then we die, then it's our turn.
Jesus Christ? This is gonna be nasty.
Everything else gets to go. It's real low initiatives, guys. Unfortunately today.
Oh boy.
Let's see how this goes. All right. So,
Well, I got a healing
Averin?
spell equipped, so hopefully we'll survive.
and everyone's full right now. So, this is gonna be. So, as the initiative starts, Averin goes and he makes his potions and gives everybody some potions. And he starts collecting hex rods. The large creature, the large kind of like draping bladed wings resemblance, goes and reaches up and like digs into the side, and the other one digs lower, and then it just drags itself down as the rest of the feet don't even move. They just drag along the wall. These two things just pulling him down, and it just kind of crumples onto the ground. The ooze kind of covers loosely all of this, like, just clump of heap metal, and then just kind of starts just kind of pulling itself out of its own slump. Entrance in the pseudo ooze dragon.
Pseudo ooze dragon. Isn't that from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie?
Oh yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, with the no, that's this. No, I think it was the first one with
Ivan Ooze.
Yeah.
He was Ivan Ooze, and he was like, he did a little, like, this whatever, like, creature thing he was,
Yeah.
like bug, ant praying mantis thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was gross. Sorry, anybody who. I mean, we all, yeah, right. Luckily, all of us are old enough to know that one. And it starts dragging itself out. That will be its turn as it prepares itself on the ground. The oil tends to pool off of him and then rolling out throughout the different, like, shelves that are still that are like barely upright as it's being held, like, by the strings of these ooze that coagulates. New word there. Is all coagulated out throughout the rest of this library. The large hive off to your right, further back, maybe about 200 feet in, thrums and pulses like a beating heart. And there are now, at this point, 7 different wasp abominations kind of just hovering around. One of them just kind of landed on the ground. It does this little flit where it
Where did
nearby.
those come from?
They're
How
the
big are
first
they
thing that
compared
came
to
out.
me?
One of them looks over
Oh no.
to Ekern and walks up and is almost like have you ever seen a wasp sit on a spot that it thinks is a good place to set a nest at, and it just kind of dances around its little feelers. The singular eye unit is staring down, and every now and then it blinks red and kind of like shines a spotlight on the area, and then stops, and then it dances around and then dances around a bit and lights up the area.
Okay.
2 others start to approach you guys. One of which gets within 15 feet of Trax. 2 get within Trax, and I guess Zendira, because Zendira is sitting there with nearby Ekern, unless you backed up. Can't remember.
I don't remember either, so let me go with that.
It's only about 50 feet inside the door. So. And then there's like a good 150 feet back, more.
I imagine that I was probably standing there ready to take on the world, and everybody else took a couple steps back, and then I look around and realize I'm the only one there.
It's like, that's all right. Me and Rose got this, right?
Rose?
Sorry, can't
Out of
hear
mana.
you.
Out of
Healing.
mana. So I got to drink my water to get my mana back. Anybody play World of Warcraft?
Yep.
Anyway. Yeah. And then because Rose did take a few steps back to grab the mana potion earlier, there are 3 of them that kind of sit next to Grins, between Grins, Ilix, and Mr. Rose out towards the doors. 2 of them about 15 feet away from Ilix. One off to your right. One towards one that's more in between you and Grins. And then as Rose took like a step forward, he has one that is now like in his combat range. As he stepped onto it. And literally looks down at it and then punches down, and it explodes.
Did he just Escanor that mosquito?
They're not that strong.
Right?
This
They're
should
just
be okay.
distractions. But they probably haven't dealt damage yet, so we'll see what else they can do.
Right before, who had a 10 before, and I let him go first, 2 others come up around his head, and their wings, which is like in an odd number, and they're all in different places in like this gross like hodgepodge of like it had like 3 different sections, and somebody just like stuck legs and wings on this thing in different places. Gross. Yeah, gross. So it's just it starts to thrum, and similar Grins recognizes, it starts to fill the air where you guys are at a little further away with this soft whispers, and it starts to gain in this like droning hum, and then you can literally see the air around this guy's head like pulse and contract, and he literally like takes 2 steps back, and then, because he's raging, a 1 and a 2 hits the fucking ground.
Shit.
Hey, now whispers are my thing.
Like a soft crimson just kind of running out of his ears as they hit the ground, and they are now on top of him doing the same kind of thing they were doing near Ecker, and this kind of like step, and would pulse a like red beam on him, and then step around, pulse it again. Wings kind of thrum every now and then in like this weird calling pattern. All right. And then we have Trax, and then Zendira, and then everybody rolled in order.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Rose guy is on the ground unconscious, or on the ground like paralyzed, stunned? What are we looking at?
He is unconscious.
Oh, he went to 0 hit points?
No, he's just unconscious.
Okay. So
they knocked him the piss out. You can see like his eyes are whited out. Like there's no iris.
So it's like an incapacitated.
Yeah, I guess that's incapacitated. He is out. Right.
How far away from me is he?
He is 10 feet behind you.
10 feet behind me, so that means that those monsters are 10 feet behind me too?
Yes, they are.
Then they would have taken opportunity attacks then from me in the process.
As they came by you?
No, because they're in 10 feet, I have polearm mastery, so I have opportunity attacks for it.
Pick one.
Yeah, buddy.
One reaction. Pick one. Hit the frick out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna roll first. Let's go. Bam. No, I don't know. Did that did that 8 do anything? Is that 8 gonna actually hit?
It's just 8?
Yeah, that's the 8 to hit.
Roll again. When flying, you have disadvantage. When they are on the ground, it has advantage, like they are prone creatures.
Okay. So they are 16.
Yes, that hits.
Okay.
They're 10 is their that's what I was like, oh, it's only 8.
Yeah, seriously. Ooh, 10 damage.
Because these things are not paying attention to you. Yeah, you look over, you look over and you slice through, and literally like you slice the whole top half of this thing clean. You're just like, whoa, what are you doing? And you literally slice around, and it goes to do like its next eye beam, and you like cut through the top of its eye, and like all the like wings and legs that are like hovering on the up above it, and it just oozes out, and then kind of just one of the legs kind of gives way underneath it and just hits the ground hard, and the light kind of shudders off.
So that was my opportunity attack. So now I'm gonna get to my regular stuffs. And let's see what we got. I'm thinking since they're in 10 feet, let's do this. So I'm gonna twirl my glaive, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my. 1 second, if I can recall what it's called. Spirit Guardians. Boom!
Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do Spirit Guardians, and basically it just looks like, it will look like a bunch of stars, like slightly dim moonlit stars are swirling around me, and they're just kind of randomly spinning and stuff like that.
Sick. All right.
Very thematic. I like it.
Do I need to roll the attack or no? I don't. I just so anybody who gets in 10, so 10. What is it? It is 15 feet, so they're in range. Yep. Okay. So they take, what was it? 14 damage. And I don't know if it's a saving throw. It is the wisdom save of 14.
They're not gonna make that.
Okay.
No. They got a 16. They have -3. They're a hive. It's a hive mind, and they aren't the ones that make the decisions, so they are not smart.
So they will
Alright.
take 3d8. That's radiant damage, by the way.
Oh yes, which seems to be doing a bit more than you would expect.
Yeah. So they take that 14 to the face, and then I'm going to. That leaves me with a bonus action, right? Or
You should. As you kind of look over, you're like, oh, and you can go too. And a few of the circling stars look like they're doing like slow shooting stars, and then kind of fizzle out, and then you see them just like slap the piss out of it straight through, hit the ground, and kind of. It just like you shot it with a shotgun, just full of holes, and it hits the ground.
Sir Rose will get. What is it? So Rose gets some temporary hit points from my Twilight Sanctuary. So it's 1d6 plus 6. So
The blood stopped running from his ears.
okay. So he gets 11 temporary hit points.
$15. That motherfucker. Son of a bitch. The ringing. It doesn't stop.
As my bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon at 2nd level. And it's gonna take the shape of a scythe with a moon-like scythe edge on it.
That's
And
2
it's
spells.
That's my. Oh, it was my bonus. Oh, I can't do a spell then a bonus.
It's a
action.
second level spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Unless it's a cantrip, then you
Unless
can.
it's a cantrip. Okay. So whatever cantrip I can do at bonus action is like what I need to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you're one of those groups that can do an attack for a bonus action.
Actually.
Now, if Spirit Guardians is a bonus action, you can have your action to attack or do other things.
That's an excellent question. I don't know if Spirit Guardians is cast as a bonus action. I don't think it is.
It looks like it's an action.
Yeah, it's an action. But yeah, my 2 bonus actions. Yeah, I don't have anything that's gonna be. I have cantrips, but I don't have anything that says as a bonus action. I don't think I do.
Dang.
Yep, no. So I guess my bonus action is going to be nothing. Oh, I get a bonus attack. I get a bonus attack. Pull arm master bonus attack. Boom.
Yeah, there's
with
Oh,
a
yeah, you-
7.
Don't you have to take the attack action to do that though?
Ooh. Let me read the feats traits.
Someone read the rules.
Bonus attack. When you take the attack action. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Ari.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Stop reading the rules, Sam.
Damn it! You working against me. That's too many actions anyway. I'm just gonna back up a little bit so that I'm hovering like right there on Mr. Rose and still within range of my people, and
Mhm.
make sure whoever's in my range gets that temporary hit points when they
You
end
step
their
back a bit.
turn.
You step back a bit, and like the stars are like rolling around. And he's like, "Oh, that's nice." Kind of sets himself back up.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
there you go, big guy.
next is in that.
I shout out if I can. Trax, have you ever fought from horseback before?
No, I don't think so.
You ready to learn?
Oh shit. I just look back worried.
Okay, well, as my main action, I am so how far away is Trax from me?
He took a step back, so he's about 15 feet now.
Okay, cool. Is there a? I was gonna say I am going to. So Trax, you're standing next to
Sir Rose.
The Rose.
Rose.
There were two thingies, wasps. Or
He
those
iced them.
gone. He iced them. Okay.
He iced him.
Cool. Cool. And then there's the dragon thing over here. Farther away. How far away is the dragon?
It has slumped down on the ground on the other side, and it is about 120 feet away.
Okay.
At its closest point.
So I am going to call lightning. So has 120-foot range on call lightning. It's a 60-foot cylinder. So I'm going to call it so the edge of the cylinder just includes the dragon and then the space between us as much as possible.
Eesh.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go ahead and for some reason I have a slot marked. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and call lightning, and looks like it's just a 3d10 lightning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a dexterity save of 14 if I'm right. Well, let's see the damage first. What do we get? Yeah, not great. 9. A 1, a 2, and a 6.
Its head starts coming out of the ground, and then, because it's not gonna die.
Okay.
No, not yet. It's slowly pulling itself. It's not even a full dragon yet. It's just slowly pulling itself out of its group. And its head comes out, and it like looks down at everybody as its like fourth arm pulls out, and the wings start to like ungoop. And just this lightning ball just smacks on its head. The head hits the ground real quick.
Like, ha! And it keeps getting up. They're like, ah!
Kind of looks over, looks up a bit, like growls at the sky, and then kind of looks over, and then like a kind of like another leg just kind of gets up and then kind of like slops back down into the mud as it kind of pulls itself more out. Its eyes glowing a soft whitish blue now.
Does eye color change?
Okay.
But it does take the damage.
So it took lightning damage and it changed the lightning aspect, basically.
Can I
Kinda
make a
sounds
perception
like
check?
Make a perception check.
All right, perception. That's a 17.
What are you trying
As
to
it
see?
hit, you see it hit down on the head. The head hits, bounces down, and as it's like rolling, it shakes its head a bit. You can see static through its body. At first, it looks like that's a that's it getting like continuously kind of like residually shocked and kind of like stationary. It looks like it's having a hard time looking up, and it shakes itself. And the static changes from like just every now and then the bits of metal are like letting off the rest of the steam from the lightning strike, and more pulsing in between the different metal pieces in arcs, especially around the wings tend to arc downward through the different blades.
Okay.
It pulls another leg out, and its wings shake once and then split and then flay out into its full spread, shaking all of the ooze off of it almost. Lightning comes down a bit between the blades and stuff. Its eyes now glowing.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and run the 15 feet back to stand next to Trax. I'm not going to transform quite yet.
Roll 1d6 plus 6.
1d6 plus 6 for...
Or am I supposed to roll 1d6? I guess I'm supposed to do that because it's my skill. So you're getting
just the one,
1d6
then
plus 6 for temporary hit points.
Okay.
Since you can send in turn. So unfortunately it's just 7, but that's enough.
I'll take 7.
Right?
Nice.
Question: if he wild shapes, does that carry over to his wild shapes hit points, like stack on top of the wild shape?
I always think of them as kind of like temporary hit points are kind of like oil on top of water. It's like you can shake the water up and all kinds of stuff, and it spins itself around, and it still kind of floats there on the top. So it just kind of sits on top of him for the day. I think temporary hit points are mostly just the day, at most.
Just curious.
So, yeah.
I was going to use my wild shape, but if... because I can keep on calling... I was thinking I'd turn into a warhorse and give somebody a ride, because I can call lightning every turn, but it's my action. So if I gave somebody else a ride boost as a bonus, I could keep on attacking while helping someone else. But unfortunately, warhorse only has like 11 hit points, so...
Yeah, and like when it comes to like the druid thing, we could either do it one or the other way. The oil method, or what I like to call the like armor method, where it's like wild shape is on top of whatever he has going on, and then when it comes down, then it's the temporary hit points in him. Or you do it the oil way, where the temporary hit points are above the wild shape.
Whatever
and
his
wild
current
shape then
form
him.
is.
I would rather it on top of the wild shape form, but yeah.
Bam.
Okay.
So then we'll do the oil method.
Okay.
The whole temporary hit points float on top.
Cool.
You know, nothing says you can't go to being a bear and have somebody ride you as a bear.
That's actually very true.
It's not
And
as
Ilix is actually expecting that, so
not as productive. Bears actually get very tired very quickly.
Ilix is like, I've ridden a warhorse before.
So I just want you to know, if you turn into a bear and say, Trax, hop on me, he will in fact hop on you and hug the shit out of you.
Okay.
You're so fluffy, I could die!
It's like in terms of
have some pastries.
Will I get the grappled condition if he does that?
That's why I was like, in all of the different kind of like video game writing things, like the wogues were always the best one. So it's like
Well, okay. I mean, actually, if I can use my bonus action, I'll be like, hop on, and I will go brown bear. So,
Oh, fluffy!
if it's not too late for me to do that.
yeah, that's
Okay.
that's bonus action. So
Then wild shape brown bear, and that's it for me.
all right,
Keep on going. I'll be able to hear you. I'm gonna get some more coffee.
All right, and then next we have why Next we have Grins.
All right, and how many of those wasp-like creatures were we seeing again? Closer to us
I think
in
they're
particular.
dead now, as far as the ones that were on top of us.
There
Are
were the
dead.
two there, and then
And then there's one that's in between you and Ilix. Ilix has one
Yeah, I was gonna say.
off of him, more to the right. From you now about 25 feet in as the crow flies. And then the one near you between you two is about 15 feet between both of you.
okay. Well, I am going to start moving. So 15 feet from me to said wasp thing, 15 feet to Ilix, and then how far away are Traxons and Dyra at the apex of all of our positions into the
About
deeper
20,
prairie?
about 25 feet up in between you guys and Ekern up at the center pole. The center pole is 15 feet from the door.
Okay.
Say if you can do what you can do, then move where you end your turn in my space. You just have to be 30 feet. So do what you can, and then end your turn in my space, and then you'll get the temporary hit points.
It's a 30 foot. It's a 30 foot, or is it 15 radius?
It's 30 feet radius. Hold on.
15 radius, 30 feet diameter.
30 feet radius is what it says.
A 60-foot diameter. You all have temporary hit points.
Oh, shite. Well, no, they have to end their turn in there. They have to end their turn in it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. So
I'll just try not to leave.
Yeah.
I think
All right.
I think how it's set up, Ilix might be the only one just outside of 30 feet. But you just have to move over a little bit.
Typical.
Typical. Hey, it ain't nobody's fault but your own.
Oh, and Averin, because he's way outside the door.
Okay.
All right. Well, Grins is going to pull out his rapier, and see, there was still one of those wasp things by Ekern, right?
Yeah, one of them is over on top of Ekern, about 45 feet away from you. You're about 5 feet into the door when all the
45
shit
feet.
went down.
All right. Well, in that case, at 45 feet away, I am going to move within 20 feet of Ekern and the wasp. Pulling out my dagger as I do. And as I do, I'm going to go ahead and look over my shoulder and yell to Ilix, like, watch this and do me one better, all right? So we'll pass him a bardic inspiration. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw the dagger at the wasp that is bothering Ekern. So here we go. That is a 21.
Oh, yes.
And then we're going to go ahead and, just for fun, because I don't like these wasps and I do like Ekern, we're going to go ahead and add the extra psychic damage from Psychic Blades into that attack. Make sure this thing is dead. So, rolling for damage, the dagger. That is 5 damage for the dagger, and another 16 damage for Psychic Blades.
Get him.
So you hit it, you throw the dagger, and it goes and smacks into like between one of its like hexagonal like carapace spaces, and it's like, and kind of like looks over at you. Its eye, and then just in like a flame of like psychic fire, just kind of heats out, and it's like, and it like rolls over like. sizzles from the insides.
Wait, you did all that to just the wasp guy?
Just the wasp guy. Yep.
He's like, I'm just gonna, overkill this fucker. Do I get any of those overkill points back? Like, come on.
Hey, who knew we were gonna do like 16 damage on this?
Jeez,
It was a good
Louise.
roll. It was a good roll there. It was
Boy.
a 6, 6, and a 4.
I imagine it splattered everywhere, and I'm just like, get your make a bigger mess there.
It's like psychic blades. I think like psychic damage sometimes I think is like a analog like microwave damage. So it's like you cook the thing, like you
Ooh.
cook it from the inside. It's like vibrate the shit out of it.
Gross. It just
then-
expands and blows up.
On the opposite side of that, Grins does a little flourished little spin with his hat off, gives a deep bow, and says, "Ilix, you're up."
You
Aspires
get
to greatness.
11 hit points, temporary hit points.
I think he likes Grins better than Zendira.
That's not what that.
That was before he jumped on the back of a bear. Yeah.
All right. So you said Ilix is within 15 feet of another one?
Two, yeah. One,
Two of
they're
them,
both
sweet.
kinda like they're both kind of like this.
Gotcha. So, Living Thresher Whip, 20-foot reach, plus 10 to hit, so I don't think I can miss. So, first one, 27 to hit.
It misses now.
The
It was too
fastest,
good.
the fastest slime mosquito you've ever seen in your life.
It's like a fly. The quicker you try to hit it, the more it notices and gets out of the way. No,
All right.
but yeah, you hit
Damage
it.
on that one. Max damage 8. Does that kill it?
No. It does 8. You just did 8 damage.
Yeah.
No. No, you hit it hard.
It doesn't?
No, you like crush it, like it's like beeping out, and like some of its legs are like reaching out, but like it's like crushed under the weight of the whip.
Was it flying or was it on the ground?
One of them flew and then kind of hit the ground and like spit it around. So they're kind of like you just slapped it to the ground and just kind of like it's like ah!
Gotcha.
It saw the whip coming. It's
All
like
right.
ah! And then you slapped it.
You need some help to finish it up. Yeah.
All right. Well, Katya's using her infused strike, which is going to be an additional 3. I guess lightning. I think is what I left her off on. So 3 lightning damage
Oh yeah.
added to that.
It just you see the red bulb of its eye just like flip around and then like it just kind of busts out, but like in like an oozy kind of organic way.
All right.
Nasty.
Spin around. Go for the second one. Dirty 20.
Yeah.
That is just 1 on the die, so 5 damage.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of slap it sideways and it, like hits a wall. kind of
Bonus action, I give a high-pitched whistle and look at Katya and point at the one that I just hit. She's going to go and make her attack, which I believe she has a +3 to hit, if I recall.
Anybody see the TikTok where the guy hits the wasp with the big
Oh,
fucking
plus-
hand, like bing? That's what Illich
Plus
just did.
6. So she's going to roll. She's going to attack with a +6 to hit.
Oh yeah.
And so that's 17.
Mm-hmm.
And or does she get a plus on the damage? I'm assuming. Fight 26 plus proficiency, so an additional 7 piercing damage on that.
Oh yeah. And so you like hit the one down and you roll up and you smack the other one and like it gets hit out of the air as it like tries to jump out of the way. You like smack it and then it hits the wall and like hits the ground, and is like most wasps do when you don't kill them right off the bat, and they're just like. And then
I just saw
Katya
my
just
life
literally,
flash before my eyes.
literally like, and then literally
And
like
Katya comes running up and like grabs it like right in the middle and shakes it like dog, and then smacks it against the wall.
I survived.
Grins looks thoughtful back at you and goes,
As a lair action,
Oh no.
unless Ilix is moving, you might want to move over.
Yeah, Ilix is gonna take one look down the hall at that thing coming up, and he's like, it flashes across his mind for a minute to run right at it. He's like, "Oh, it's probably not a good idea this time." He turns around and comes back. He's gonna try to at least get within the 30 feet of tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 9. 9.
9.
So you're somewhere
Nine.
in between Grins and Zyra.
I forgot to roll my own. Holy crap. It said including me.
Including
Oh.
me.
I got the most out of everybody. I got 12.
He loves himself the most for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
before you did that, I was going to say you have some real self-loathing problems, but apparently that's not the case.
That is not the case, apparently. Let's see. Temporary hit points. Alright, so up here, temporary hit points is 12. Got it. And how do we say we're treating it? Like armor?
Was
The
that
temporary
The
hit point.
temp hit points.
they're like a buffer.
Okay.
You have like a soft every now and then like around you guys, off of your robes or your clothes or your armor. It's just every now and then you get that like soft twinkle of a star, just soft surround, and just kind of.
You're all stars in my eyes.
Grins is very clearly enjoying every time it twinkles. He's like, oh.
So, as a lair action, and let me go ahead and do this for everybody. Did a custom roll test ins, and then we'll do. All right, as a lair action, the hive in the back corner starts to pulse, and then kind of contract real aggressively, and then almost like it exhaled, and a couple more of these wasps start to pour out of the bottom of it, crawling out of what seems to be it starts to roll out like they're crawling out of a pool, and just like they're being.
All right, this has been fun, but I can see this becoming a problem very quickly.
Can I use okay, hold on. Where are they coming from? Do I need to roll a perception check to figure out where they're coming from, or did you just explain it and I missed it?
Yeah, like in the back of the room, in the far back right side, there's this large, like 50-foot in space, all the way almost to the roof, undulating what looks to be some terrible like just like every internal organ you have, just like in as like a hive.
Okay, all right, that's what I need to know. All right, and that is how far from us? Is
Now about 150 feet. For some of you guys on the other side, maybe like 155 feet out towards the back corner. The creature is now in the last like 50 feet area, as it is hit it hit the ground and it became like a pile of goop and metal, and it's crawling out of that about 120 feet away from the door, so about 100 feet away from most of you. About 80 to 75 feet away from Eckern right now. And there is also a swirling cloud about 60 feet wide in between Eckern and that thing that is just like pecking at its head. He's like reached out, stuck his head out and got slapped for it. So yeah, 9 more come flooding out of this thing and just kind of start filling in kind of like the air in the back.
Yeah, you had me a little worried when you said a couple more come pouring out.
I mean, they do end up just like it contracts real hard and then like expels, just kind of expands back out to its normal size. And as it does, it's just like a good 9 of these like things, and they like getting dried out, and some of them are still in like the little sack, and they
You're nasty.
Yeah.
I think
It's the
we all
corruption.
know what we need to do.
So yeah, pouring, yes, but there's about 9. This is 9. Lair action has me roll a 20, be up to 20 of them. And kind of pour out. That's why they only have HP.
So
Oh,
how
they-
many of them? How many of them you said? You rolled a 9 there. Was it 9
I
of
rolled a
them?
9, and 9 of them
So-
poured out.
Oh,
They can be a
okay.
max of 20. I roll a d20 to see how many pour out of there for a lair action.
So we were actually more on the lucky side.
Shite.
Shy
Alright.
side of average.
It's about the average. It'll come out between 9 and 12 usually. The big creature fully
Seems fine.
starts. You see, it starts to soak up the last of the ooze behind it in the pile with its tail as the tail swipes across the floor, and then lifts up and slaps down. All the ooze kind of slaps back out again, and then it goes and mops it back up every now and then. So you see this like cycle of like it mops the floor and then slaps it all back down again and then mops it back up, like this weird angry pattern. And then the last tip, it hits the ground. You see a soft spark, and then it arcs from the ground, and then it arcs all the way up its back, and then the wings expand outward, and the arcs come across the wings as the blue kind of energy kind of pools up to its head, and it leans its head back, and then comes forward and goes, "Whoa!" This like heavy like rolling black cloud out of it, and it just starts pouring it in a cone in front of it. And in the cloud, you see this like heavy light blue lightning just arc through it. As it starts to roll and spray and dissipate from the area, as that is right outside of your range. As it does a 50-foot
Okay.
cone in front of it. And then it angrily shakes its head a bit, and it starts rolling forward a bit, no longer sparking outward, as it has released the energy it has decided to absorb.
So now how
Like a
far away
monstrous
from it?
absorb elements.
It's like, it sounded kind of like, it reminded me kind of like Ilix a little bit a moment ago, but I sensed a little bit of Z in that last move.
Now that
Giant
it's
brown bear slowly nods its head.
yeah. What's that again?
As a giant brown bear slowly nods its head.
Now that it's shaken its wings out a few times, and most of the black gluey goopy mess has cleared from it, it kind of flaps it a bit in odd vibrating patterns, and it shakes a bunch of them off, and they hit the ground.
Oh no.
And then the stubs, which were like small obelisks almost, kind of they shift like this bit from its back. As you can see, kind of like the gooey muscles start to undulate behind it, move a bit. The tips kind of spark out a bit every now and then. and then the tips of the spikes that are sticking to the ground that it shook off of it start to spark up a bit the same. And as it moves, they start to pull up like a marionette getting pulled out of the ground on strings. As they just kind of, and then they just kind of hang around it in this weird hovering, like just sitting.
It is hovering though. You say?
Yeah, they're kind of like hovering up, but and they kind of swing like they're tied to something. It's like a weird sense. It's not like you can see anything. But yeah.
Is that his turn?
Yep.
How far is he from us now?
He is still 100 feet away from you.
So he didn't
He is
come
finished.
towards us.
He didn't. He
enough
just
to-
pulled more further out of the goop he was. So
Okay.
he's about 20 feet more.
All right. Who's up?
That's you.
Are you sure? I thought it was Mr.
Oh,
Rose.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. So, Mr. Rose. Shoot. Sorry. Make sure I have everything set up. So. All right. So, Rose kind of takes some of his movement, stands up again. Let's try again, shall we?
In the most mocking voice ever, grins. Oh yes, let's.
And he kind of puffs himself up and he goes, But first, I don't like that thing anymore. And he snaps, its soft red marble rolls out towards the back corner of where the undulating large organ hive is pulsing, and it explodes right in front of it. Look, you can see the air get pulled in to feed this large fireball, and some of the hovering wasps get slightly pulled, and then as they you see a few of them pop, pop, fall. All right, I'll try to take that out. Keep these terrible noisemakers off of me.
Terrible.
As he goes to focus his energy on the hive maker in the corner. And then it is Track's turn. Hold that thought. Yeah, hold that thought. I'm gonna go grab food real quick for everybody. Be right back, guys. And then we'll start your guys' round. All right.
Sweet. Can Trax use my movement as his move action?
What does it say on your? Well, I haven't got on top of you yet, but
Mount rules, no. The mount has its own separate movement.
Okay.
So one of two ways that works is if it's usually a mount is not a player character.
Yeah, I know.
But either they can directly control the mount and then essentially they replace the movement, but then obviously the mount doesn't get its own turn.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Or the mount runs independently, and has its own turn without being directly controlled.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was assuming, like, under those conditions, obviously, I wouldn't get a move. But yeah. I'll be right back. Let me grab my player handbook.
It's el returnoso. Da-da-dum.
Hey, that's my voice. Don't you go stealing my voice now. How goes it, Matt?
Oh, it's going well. Pretty busy, but good busy.
Cool.
Yeah,
Alright,
how you
buddy.
doing? We're just missing the
Okay.
player whose turn it is.
Oh, yeah, yep. It is like, wait for me to get back. Alright. Lady doesn't leave the house. I leave the house for things. Oh. Alright. So it's his turn. There are 9 little ones starting to spread out from the hive. Sir Rose blew up. A few of them hovering about in the background distance, minding their own business. And tried
Poor
to hit the
innocent
hive pretty
things.
hard. The pseudo ooze dragon tested its range. It is just born. It has just been born. He's a new babe.
Well, I was born yesterday.
So,
Nope, not even.
born 30 seconds ago. It feels like forever to me.
30 seconds too long for an abomination such as this. Defense against nature.
Let's make this one a short story.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like Grin's songs about this will be, and it died.
I'm sorry, I can't understand using dialogue. What was that?
I said Grin's songs about this will be, and it died. I mean, assuming everything goes well here.
All I hear is grunts and growls.
Yeah.
I'm
Heard a brown bear
slowly,
sing before.
I'm slowly understanding the dynamic, and I'm slowly tweaking to figure out what is and isn't challenging for this group. And not like it's like, I see they do this, so I'm just gonna, they can't do this. No, it's more just like, what are all the kind of ways that are challenging for the group? What is not challenging for the group? What do you guys just steamroll? You know, like Ansvar. Every time we run into Ansvar, he's like, he just gets steamrolled. Not because Ansvar is not a good player, or is not a good NPC, is not a good enemy. It's just stuff. And he tried. He adjusted. He tried last time. He adjusted himself.
He tried
You know, he tried to
really,
figure out.
really hard.
I think I tried to help him.
He tried really hard that other time.
I seem to recall foiling his attempt to throw his spear at me just to jam the spear into the ground.
Just to grab it and let it blow up.
It's like, oops.
You thought you could.
It was like a Loki moment.
Yeah, I was very proud of that for like 5 seconds.
The poor town's guard that decided to like check in to see what you guys were doing up there. He's like, taking up the stairs, like, he's like, He's like, Zendaya catches it. Ooh, ooh, Wednesday, go back here. Too much.
Of course, Endeavor's just like, why would anybody make a spear like that? It makes no sense.
I guess if you wanted to keep a spear, then yes, it would make no sense. Oh man. Averin, though. Averin has like 10 hex rods kind of sat upright, kind of in front of him. He's like on his knees. He's like on his knees, and he's like got a pile of them. Like he's rushed. He just grab a bunch off the shelf. He's rushed back over to where he was sitting at. He just piles a big old pile. He's just like, oh no. He's like, ooh, I'll use that one. Ooh, that's also a good useful one. He starts setting ones. He's every now and then something like explodes or ears like oozing, or the time it belched out this terrible and all the thunder and stuff, and he like twinces behind and like, I need to find faster.
I really must find a better time to look into all of this.
A little pressure to produce. So, the question came up with the while we were gone. If seeing as Trax is riding me, could he use my movement instead of his movement? Obviously, I wouldn't get a move after that, but would he be able to do that kind of like a controlling?
I mean, I guess, yeah. So like he's walking around, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a bad idea to have the healer on the back of the melee character.
It'll be fine.
Either that or it's the best idea ever.
I'm just gonna like charging straight to the dragon. He's like, no.
Like there's a reason, like there's a reason why it was like horses and camels, and I guess in like fantasy wogs makes sense too why those were the riding things, because they have good stamina. They're meant for long distance travel. It's why like bears, alligators, they're not the smartest ones. They get tired quick. They're sprint things. They ambush stuff. They don't chase things down for a long period of time. But
Wogue. How do you spell that?
WORG.
ORG.
Some places put an E at the end of them, some don't.
Gotcha.
Some people pronounce it warg.
I gotcha. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Because canines are generally in the realms of long distance. Chase you down until you're tired.
Oh, they know Goblin. That's cool.
Yeah. So, all right, Trex, it is your turn.
All right. I had enough time to think.
Nope.
And I didn't think of anything. All right, so
So while you were gone,
I-
I think the ruling, if I'm understanding correctly, is you can use my movement.
I can use your movement.
Yeah, I won't get a move then, but you can use my movement.
And how far can you move?
As a brown
I guess-
bear, I think I got 40 feet.
Yeah,
40
you
feet.
guys can decide between the two of you which one will use the move. You guys are right after each other, so
Well,
because just like I guess just like a horse, you're technically asking the horse to walk this way.
Yeah.
So he would be asking you to walk that way.
You get to roll with advantage in that conversation if you have spurs.
I'll turn back to gnome form, just be like, turn around, like, never do that again.
It's like, all right,
Oh.
I whip the horse. It's like, all right, roll animal handling. Rolls, it's a 10. The horse said, I have spurs with advantage.
Well-
20. The horse did not like that. It is moving. All right.
Well, as my bonus action, I am going to. I'll go ahead and cast spiritual weapon.
All right, say that again. I'm sorry. At the kid.
Hold on. I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon, but I'm trying
Yep.
to figure out what level I should cast it at because I think I can cast it as a third level, but I don't recall.
Jeremy, you have a lot of spells.
Yes, I can. I can cast it as a third level. So I'm gonna cast as a third level. I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon.
What does it look like? What kind of weapon is it?
Like I said, it looks like a scythe. With the scythe portion of it, the blade portion is a crescent moon, and its handle is like twisted bark with metal. So I'm gonna cast it, and it can go 60 feet. Will 60 feet? He's 100 feet, 120 feet, 150 feet from us, the big guy.
He's 100 feet now.
He's 100 feet, and then those mosquitoes that just popped up are behind him, correct?
Yeah, they're all like they're next to him now. Yeah, a little behind next to him. They're a good 150 feet from you guys, right? Because they are on the opposite end of the building.
All right, so those mosquitoes are 50 feet from us. So bear,
150.
oh, 150 feet. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're on
Okay.
the opposite end of the room as they just poured out of the large hive in the corner.
All right, bear man, get me
You're
40
up, yes.
feet.
I start charging forward towards the. It sounds like you want the hive.
We're going towards the hive, but we're gonna get to the boss guy first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Run
40
forward
feet
40
to
feet
him, and then since that's my bonus action, I'm gonna move it 60 feet to the monster. And then
Felix is going the other way, and he crosses, and he looks back like, I thought we said that was a bad idea.
I correct on my way forward. I caress his cheek and go, "There, here's some free hit points." Oh, I think you can summon and attack the same bonus action with the spiritual weapon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the same spell.
Okay.
Yep. It's
so-
it's the you summon it and then move it and attack, and then you can use a bonus action to move it and attack every other turn.
Reap some gooey wasps.
it's just a straight roll, right?
Yes. You're
Against the
attacking
monster.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that was an 11, so I missed with that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still in range. So, well, no, he's not in range of anything else because I would have to do a regular attack action. So, how dark is it in here?
right now for you, it's in a dim light in area, and then there's light coming from the open doors behind, and it kind of dimly lights the whole area, but also the whole area is kind of splattered with this like black ooze, so it all feels dark. Like you walked into like a room that is only lit from the hallway, and it is all painted black. And you, I guess, you are also lighting it up a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess I can't do anything else. So I'm just gonna be relying on the bear to get me to where I need to do more. But we're going towards the nest.
Okay.
If I have to, I can jump off you and fly over him. So keep that in mind. I also have invisibility.
You have Vigilant Blessing and you didn't help anybody?
I had Vigilant Blessing and I didn't help anybody? What? What are you talking about?
As an action, you give one creature you touch, including possibly yourself, advantage on the next initiative roll.
Where do you see that? I don't know what you're
On
talking
your
about.
character sheet, right under Eyes of Night.
That's what you're talking But wait, isn't that a channel divinity though?
Next combat, y'all
is
be
it?
like on that
Yeah,
monster.
because that would be a channel divinity thing.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, channel divinity.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look
that's
like it.
channel
No,
divinity.
you have Channel Divinity Turn Undead, Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary, then you have Eyes.
Yeah,
of Night,
it's not. It's
Strike,
just
and
as an
Blessing.
action. It's not a limited use thing.
It's
Cool.
it's one of those like at third level, at fifth level you get.
So you just get like a bonus to your initiative roll. Damn, I'm sorry.
Next time
We won't let you
roll,
forget it next
on
time.
that monster,
Yeah.
like
You can't give it after the fact, can you? Like we can't change the initiative order, like speed them up a little bit.
like I said, man, you guys are gonna run into bandits, and I'm gonna feel sorry for the bandit. Because you're just gonna be like, all right, never again, guys. You're gonna touch everybody for initiative the next time. And then it's gonna be like bandits. It's like everybody got a 20 on initiative.
Trax
Smoke
is just
them.
gonna look back and he's just gonna go. That's gonna be that's gonna end my turn.
All right, and then we're gonna do Zandaira, and then there's a lair action.
Okay. Are there any wasps in the cloud yet?
In the cloud?
Yeah. Or in
Oh
range of the
yeah.
cloud?
Oh yeah, because
Where
it
is
comes,
Call
comes
Lightning Cloud
in the
is.
area, and there's like hundreds of them swarming around, above, crawling
Hundreds.
against walls.
Okay.
Like it feels like in some cases when you look at a wall, the wall is moving because there's pouring and dripping, and then the wall is moving because there are things moving in between, like the webbing of this like terrible black putty liquid that
I'm
is
kind
webbed.
of like running forward and looking at the walls and realizing that it's the walls might be partly alive and
Yeah, like when he
reasonably
blew,
wisdom of my
when
current-
he did that fireball, like 5 or 6 of them just kind of like fell out of the sky, just pop, 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 pop.
Okay. So I am going to pick the wasps that appear closest to where I'm at. I'm out of movement, and I'm going to zap the heck out of them with Call Lightning. So.
Oh yeah, because as the cloud started to come up from the last round, a lot of them started to do their like they started to hover around and look up at the cloud and do the little red beam and kind of and then stop, and then it's like they mark things interest for the hive.
Well, I'm gonna try to target the ones that are will be running. If there's any in my way for where I'm going with tracks, I'm gonna zap them first. So let's see here. Let's call lightning. So I'll go ahead. I don't have to cast it again. It just does the rules. Just when you if you're outdoors and stuff. Come on, where is it? I know I can keep on doing this. On each of your turns, so spend energy, you can use your action to call down lightning this way again, targeting this same point or a different one. So I guess I just roll damage, and I think its damages everything in the area.
Yeah, well, who's ever in the area just takes it.
Each creature within 5 feet of that point. Okay, here we go. So 3d10
Yeah, you
damage.
just call like just call.
Oh wow, that's spinning really weird. Ooh, 22.
for a hit.
On a wasp.
Well, that's
It's a-
22 for damage in the
Oh, that's right.
area. Yeah.
And
Within
these things
5
have
feet
like
of the
no. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, like you just call lightning down, like it just comes down, but it's tearing the ground and drying up the whole like area, of this oily mess. It just dries from the heat, tears up a bit of the ground, and like pop, pop, poop, poop, pop, like a good 7 of them. Some of them dumb enough to like just fly and mind its own business, crosses across as the lightning strike comes down. It's like, oh, lucky bastard. A few of them were in the cloud
My
nearby.
queen.
Death before dishonor. And then like yeah, a few of them in the cloud nearby just got static shock. Like that thing just melted a whole like a good 9 of them. Just hits the ground.
That's about all I can do. So.
And like a whole bunch more start to like come
That's
off the
it.
wall,
Nothing else.
really mark out that cloud. Really irritated. Just warning that this is a dangerous thing. And you see a few of the other ones start to like out of the jellyfish out of the cloud to like get itself some space. Layer action. This whole time, Ekern has kind of just been absorbing what looks almost absorbing energy from the base. Just going through all of the information, the archives, going through the subroutines of the library, connecting himself back as the custodian librarian. No issue. He doesn't have to roll because y'all got a perfect hex rod for him. Where he didn't before. Now, he got retconned a good one. But before that happened, you found him one, killing the beholder. From as it pulses up, it gets really dark, the light that starts to swirl up from the bottom. And it starts to come up to around where the hex rod is. And Eckerd's eyes flash off and then back on a bit. He's like, it's coming for me, guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can hold it back a bit. And Eckerd kind of does this kind of like dismissing wave action. And then one from on the wall, behind a whole bunch of webbing of black goo, it starts to bulge a bit in like this almost like column coming to fall. And then you can start to see one of those sorters from the walls behind you start to peel away from all of this black goo, and it starts to snap all these blackish cords off of it. And then a few of its tendrily tentacle grabbing arms falls down across the open air, and then just starts to whip at this freaking large dragon thing. And it's slapping bugs out of the air. It's like, all right, come on, can I get you out of the wall anymore? And then it kind of leans back and then it hits the ground. It's like, get back up. And it goes, yeah, you're old. All right, that's the best I got, guys. I can take care of the ones over there in a good 50-foot block in the back left corner. He is smacking away a bunch of these wasps and just slaps as this thing just starts flailing around in the corner. The whole pseudo dragon looks over and then looks kind of back over at the motion of the commotion that you guys are stirring up, and then it grins.
Now, as far as those 9 wasps that came out of the hive back there, how many are
Slowly
left?
within the last, they were all like flopping out of their their goo that they had pooled out of, and then starting to spread out. Sir Rose smacked the center of the hive, hoping to just burn the whole thing down. So he hit a bunch of them in the air, but he did not hit any of the 9 that had fallen into the ground. They're starting to clear out, and they've now kind of spread out about 20 feet in front of the hive, as they just recently started to shake the goo off of their wings and start to really get them to thrumming.
Okay. So they're about what, 150 feet? You said at this point from
The hive,
Alright.
the hive starts at 150 feet as it takes a good 50 feet of the corner. So 150 feet, and then the hive starts and it takes 50 feet of the corner. Because it's a large thing. And then in front of it, about 20 feet in front, so it's about 120 feet. Kind of like crawling around or getting close to crawling around the feet of this pseudo ooze dragon.
Okay. So how far are these 9 from where I am at this point then?
Ooh, where did we? You're still about
Hey.
80 feet.
80 feet from me? Okay. Alright,
Yep.
alright,
Quick
and
trigonometry in my head.
Mr. Rose is standing where in relation to me then?
Were you close by with him before? I think he just kind of sat himself up.
Okay. So I had moved in to
So he
get
has
with-
not moved. Yeah, he has
Okay.
not moved yet.
Alright. Well, Grins is going to look over his shoulder at Mr. Rose. He's going to be like, alright, you keep burning them. I'll keep those wasps I'll keep those wasps down as long as I can, but burn that thing fast. I can only do this so many times. And Grins is going to go ahead and hit those wasps that are within 20 feet of each other and within 120 feet of me with a hypnotic pattern, which covers a 30-foot area.
Yeah.
So they all need to make a Wisdom 16 save, or they are incapacitated for a minute.
6 minus 3. So 3. So like just the wasps in the area, just
They are all incapacitated for 1 minute.
oh yeah. So you strike a few of them. You strike a few of the 9 way out there. They get like a tinge. There's a few of them that like just end up getting hit in the cross as they dart across the area and just hit the ground real hard and tumble. There are a few that ended up crawling out of some pool around nearby, and they put down before they wanted to go fly off into the air.
And then
Yeah.
as I'm doing this, I go ahead and yell out to Trax up there. I'm like, all right, Trax, do some damage. I know you got this. And it's kind of like my voice kind of trails off into some like strange whispers, and you kind of get the sense of like somebody's like almost sitting on your shoulder, almost like a shadow. And we'll give you a bardic inspiration, which you can expend for a extra d8 in a damage roll for a spell attack.
Nice.
Noise.
And that'll be Grin's turn.
Alright, so now we've got Ilix. Ilix, you're a bit closer to this hive. About well, no, now you're about 80 feet 80 feet in front instead of 80 feet in a diagonal.
Okay. What is our priority? Are we more concerned about the hive or this dragon thing?
Well, what's the space is killing the hive on the left side, right?
Averin
Yeah,
is trying to
Grin's.
shut the door.
And then there
So
is
Grins
there
has
a
kinda
hive
got-
on the other side?
Grins has kind of got the hive locked down with the hypnotic pattern.
And
Yeah.
then Ekern right now is in the custodian block, looking for where the maid librarian is at and where the hex rod would be located in the building.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just dump as much damage on the main guy as much as possible.
Yeah. So Ilix is not gonna get too much closer, and he doesn't really want to lose too many rock lob needles. So he's actually gonna do something he rarely does and pull out his longbow. And
Wait. You have a longbow? Since when?
I've had it the whole time.
Guys, Alex has a longbow.
Hit the brakes.
Now we're just pulling weapons out of the wazoo, huh?
I'm like,
All right.
for short bow.
I'm gonna go ahead and start shooting at this ooze dragon.
All right.
It's gonna be
Ilix throws his longbow at the ooze dragon.
19. Long way, like a spear.
Because I was hoping that it would be an improvised weapon moment.
Muscle memory. There's a 19 hit.
No, you put the longbow in your atlatl and throw it that way.
Oof.
Oh.
All right. So 19
Nope, that tracks.
to hit,
Yeah, 19 to hit.
and go ahead and roll for the second attack real quick here. Nat 20. Apparently, Ilix is good with it too.
Nice.
All right, first one
Very
hits.
nice.
All right, I guess I'm rolling the crit damage first because it automatically calculates crit damage. But so the first one, ooh, very nice.
Oh yeah.
13 piercing damage, and then because it's a crit, and I'm gonna hit him with favored foe. Let's see here. So that's gonna be 2d6 lightning damage. Yeah. On an infused strike for 4 additional lightning damage. Favored foe, actually, the favored foe does not get doubled because I can only use it once, and Ilix would have marked him on the first one. So, 1 additional d6, which is another full 6 piercing damage. And then damage for the other one. Yeah. And another 3 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Which puts us at a total of 17, 23, 26 damage.
26 damage hits that thing. Yeah, so the arrow comes from, so 2 arrows like pink, and it shakes its head a bit and looks over, and then it starts to cackle all the electricity, and its whole head kind of just hits the ground real quick and like picks itself back up, and then kind of looks over at you, and for its reaction, its tail comes whipping around and kind of lays in a line towards you and shoots off this like electrical beam. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That's why I decided not to zap the dragon again.
Right. So that's 14.
If you would have hit it that hard, yeah, it'd been that. How much? 14?
14.
That's a 14.
Oh, all right.
You can add your bardic inspiration that you're carrying to it too
Yes.
if you need to.
Can I add that to a save?
Yes.
Yep.
Saves.
That's an extra
Saves and
D8.
attack.
D8. Ooh, nice. Add 7 to that, so 21.
All right. Yes. So then, you take 11 damage, 11 electric damage. As you like hit it, and you're like, yes. And then the tail comes over, and the electricity goes from its neck all the way down its spine to the tip of its tail, and you're like, no. And you jump over to the left, and kind of pinches your like torso right under your ribs.
So I'm lost my temporary hit points, and I lost 2 off of my main.
Yes, as the stars pool up and kind of take and just get blasted away. It singes some of your armor.
And being somewhat familiar with elemental damage, this doesn't mechanically do anything. But Ilix is just going to kind of plant the bow in front of him, and as it comes towards him, it just kind of channels as much of it as he can off to the side.
Yeah. So yeah. And then is that Ilix's turn? And you got Katya.
It's kind of far away. Katya's not going to make it in time for that. So Katya.
Question.
You know,
After the dragon slime thing did its reaction and its electricity attack, did we see... Does it look like it's still electrified, or did that dissipate its energy?
It did dissipate.
Okay.
So it loses. It gets one or the other when it absorbs elemental. It gets its breath weapon or it gets its tail reaction. It just depends on how much damage you ended up doing. It proves you as a priority because he hit him with like 20 plus damage.
Gotcha. Shouldn't have much for actions. It does. If she were to, I don't know how it would work. She's a little far away. She can't really get to it to make an attack. But I'm trying to figure out how she could give a help action when everybody is doing ranged attacks. I don't know that she would be able to, really.
Everyone's like, don't get close to it.
As the bear.
Hey, Katya doesn't care. She's lightning attuned right now. She's immune to whatever Zendira does.
Right.
He can hit as close to her as he wants, and it won't bother her at all.
Yeah, but that's only if we focus on one element. So
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, because
It doesn't
Lord Rose.
It doesn't do less damage. So when it hits the dragon, it just
enhances it. So whatever element we use, I have
Only
an idea.
once per turn, because it uses its reaction.
Yes.
Depends how much damage.
Yeah, and the only reason why I used the breath weapon last time is because Zendira only did like 10 damage to it. And then it just kind of let loose because no one was close by. So it just kind of let loose the breath weapon. So it happens on the next turn. It releases the energy for that 17 perception you got for checking out how that attack works earlier. More information as you watch it happen twice now.
Okay. So.
Well, yeah, there's not really a whole lot that Katya can do, so
Have her hang out.
she gets a dodge action then, which means disadvantage on any direct attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, lair action.
But she is going to move up closer, as close as she can with 40-foot of move speed.
Yeah. So now she's like a good 40 feet 40 feet away from both the dragon and like the hive.
Close drive. I imagine she's probably up pretty close to me at this point.
Yes. So yes, you are about 15 feet behind as you came across.
Okay.
Do you have separate hit points for Zendira?
Yes.
Okay.
So with the addition of your previous 7 temporary hit points, as a bear, I have 41 hit points now.
Okay, cool. And then for Felix, your partner has temporary hit points. Well, separate hit points also.
That would be DM's call if she can take 10 hit points.
It is a thing, but we'll have to keep that. I'll have to keep that on paper. How much is it for Katya?
She has 35 base.
Okay. 35 base. She hasn't taken any damage today. And then
Correct.
Katya gets 12.
it's
Because I like her more than
It's like when
Oh my God.
your friend comes over only to pet your dog.
You know,
Yeah.
Ilix can't really be mad.
Oh, how have you been doing? I was talking to Precious over here, your cat. Talking to little
Grins
cat.
is like, how about that? I rank almost as high as Katya. That's actually pretty good for me.
So, Averin's turn. Do Averin and then the lair action. Averin's turn. You guys are like swatting wasps that are like getting close by, and the dragon's sitting there like flailing around, and you guys are like pecking at it with like attacks and stuff. There's like a whole war zone going on in front. On the other side of the door, Averin's over there like, okay, stop thinking, help now. And he picks up one, and he goes, and he crushes it in his hand, and just like Ilix recognizes, the energy starts to pool around like liquid and then kind of flow into his hand.
Are you sure you know what you're doing? That's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Relax. And then he lets it go and it kind of hovers. It doesn't crack itself. It just kind of like it squishes. He digs into it. It lets him dig in. And he sets it up and it starts to spin. And he goes, 5th level, and his eyes glow. And he goes, mass telekinesis, almost in a whole separate, different voice. It's a soft, feminine voice. And about 20 hex rods start floating up from behind him, and then just start whizzing through the air. And just starts pelting.
Didn't he need those?
Yeah.
As he
gonna have to
basically,
like run and gather them all up again.
and it just starts pelting this dragon. Ekern looks over. He goes, "Can you do that with something bigger?" He's like, as the light from his eyes drains and the whole hex rod kind of fizzles out and kind of darkens and it hits the ground. He's like, I'm tired, but I have one more. And he places it down. He's like, don't use all of our scrolls, please. And the lair action. Ekern goes over. He's like, well, I found one thing. And he kind of looks like he reaches out and pulls. And from the back, almost behind the dragon, a whole like head and shoulders comes ripping out of the mesh of webbing black goos. He's limp, featureless. He's like, pull it out. And then that's their turn.
Oh.
As he has found the maid's
Gundam.
There you go.
it's
Is there a maid of Gundam? Because that'd be pretty sick.
just comes down, shining fingers, everything. Just that's old. That's Gundam Wing over there. That's that Dragon Ball Z Gundam over there. Or what, Gundam G, the tournament stuff. Anyway, it was pretty much. Yeah. So that is now the dragon's turn, as it is getting hit by these hex rods. It finally stops. It's all the debris and the smoke of the dust piles up, and you see the little obelisk of wings that was left start to twitch a bit, and the floating daggers look like they get lurched upwards, and then like flapped outward, and they just kind of long ways start coming down in a slicing motion across the field, just, and that makes track.
Oh no.
Mr. Rose will do one, which means also Zendira. As Trax is on Zendira.
Mm-hmm.
and Katya. Close enough.
Can I rear up and try to I don't know if I and try to protect tracks on my back from the things?
Oh yes. So
Okay.
then Zendira
Probably
rolls
bad. I gotcha. So I have a +0 dex as a bear.
no dex as bear.
If I got this right. Skills.
Is this a
travel.
spell attack or is this a physical attack action?
It is a physical feature attack
Physical
using.
feature attack? Okay,
So
and you said
21 total on
Oh,
Katya's
18,
dex save.
18, natural 18.
All right. So
So is Trax making a saving throw or not? Because if
Is making a
Z
saving throw
is
because Z
with
helped.
advantage, okay.
Because Z helped, and then Z will use Z is using his dodging the thing to give help to Trax. He kind of like, oh
Gotcha.
shit.
holy shit. First
Nice.
roll was a 9. Second roll was a 19.
Nice.
Thank you. Because that would have sucked.
And then Katya got
It's like I would
Katya
stand
got
up
a
on 2
21
legs and
total.
turn sideways as a blade comes down on each side.
I'm just holding on like
all right.
Like it's
So-
Trevor Belmont like leaning forward when death goes to kill him and just like
So do I take damage with that, or does it end up missing?
So for the ones who dodged, the
Okay.
blades come whizzing down, whoosh, and basically Zendira does the Belmont, whoosh, whips, pulls air and just almost like oppressively pulls air down with it, and then you guys take 6 slashing damage as it just cyclones the air near you guys. You guys dodge the main blade attack, and that includes the tetanus-like poison. So who didn't survive? Oh, maybe I should check. Because it'll
Poison.
probably be Rose. Oh no. Yep.
I think 18 was the lowest save.
Yeah, so everybody even Katya's like, screw this. Rose is preparing for another one and the thing literally like
oh no.
he's like, ah. And then now he needs a Constitution saving throw.
I feel like if we get him out of this alive, he's gonna have a lot of respect for us and be a great ally.
And here I am thinking we probably actually just bet on the wrong horse.
Maybe.
Ooh. And because he is not rated. He rolls a 2, which is a 6 for his Constitution saving throw. And he is now poisoned with tetanus.
So he takes this. He has disadvantage on shit moving forward, basically. But he takes poison damage also, right?
Not that type of poison.
Oh no!
No, it's it's tetanus style.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, so it's like a lock him up paralytic poison?
Starts to slowly. So right now, initially, because he failed his Constitution saving throw, he took 3 points of poison damage. And he starts to get lockjaw practically in his arm, or the nearest location since he hit his extremity. And he's like, all right. Help! He really didn't want to have to ask for it. As he rears his left hand up, he goes, ah, there it goes. As he gets the snap off, and a fireball hits the. He's like, I'm right-handed. I'm sorry. He gets the snap off, and steps another fireball off onto the hive. Boom. It's looking singed and burnt down. It's like, I'm feeling tired, more tired than before. As he gains a good point of exhaustion for using high level magic.
Is it considered a disease?
Yes,
Okay.
yes it is, as it's a natural poison, not a magical poison.
But protection from poison won't do anything to help keep us from getting anything from it?
Before, but not after.
Okay. I was just curious. All right.
As to keep people from using protection from poison as like a restoration spell.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have lesser restoration, so I can get him back to
Do I
good.
believe a disease? Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be a pretty good nuker, so probably in our interest to keep him online.
Yeah.
And I've been playing too much Dota.
And then that was his turn. So then it is Trex.
Okay. I look at it. I look in this direction. I look at what he's. I hear him. So first off, I'm not looking at this direction. All I hear is, "Help!"
He's like,
So I just turn around and see him holding his hand like.
and like so he's like holding where like it thing and is like sort of bleeding, but like it's also pussing black, and you can see kind of like it's starting to bulge in areas. He's like, he's trying to hold
How far back is he from me now? Because we went 40 feet
40
ahead.
feet. Yeah, so you just 40
Shit.
feet.
All right, Ben, it's cool. We gotta go back and touch him. I'm sorry.
I gotta wonder if I should signal you off at this point.
You can go back 10 feet and then I can make it the rest of the way.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can run back 10 feet.
Okay, I'm
Well,
gonna jump.
but you have to go back and touch him. Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I go back 10 feet, can I still run 30 feet on my turn? Because I'm 14.
Yeah, so then
Okay.
he'll use his motion instead. Which basically he can almost use when he was writing. You can use your motion as a free dash,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
That's
it
the
would
problem with
your motion.
Right.
yeah.
Question. I hate to ask. Did Andy have to make a Constitution save for maintaining concentration on Call Lightning?
Why would I have to lose? Why would I lose concentration?
Because you took
You
damage.
got hit with that damage.
Oh.
You would have to go higher,
Actually,
or half.
You still have to maintain concentration, though.
gotcha. So do you want me to roll for that?
It's like it's like half the damage, so it's like 3.
Well,
It's
minimum of
10 or
10.
half
If half-
damage,
if-
so it's yeah.
Or 10, I guess. Yeah,
So I have to make at least a 10?
at least 10, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, this should be fine.
Oh, somebody unplugged the dragon.
Yeah, let's see if I help the dragon again. So I rolled a 6 with a +3 for my bear, becomes a 9. Freaking Sam. That was a bad roll. Oh.
Everybody just turns around and
Wait,
looks
wait,
at
wait,
fucking
wait.
Elix like,
Everybody looks at Alex, and Alex is like, "What?"
Like actually, like the coyote ran off the ledge, and then like the roadrunner's like, excuse you, and the coyote's like, what? And he's like, did you lose concentration? Looks over like, what do you mean? Ah, damn it.
Well, now I did.
ooh,
Well, I'll run back 10 feet and get tracks the distance he needs.
I'm not like happily doing this. Like I'm not like running and rushing. I am literally like I crawl off him like I just lay back and just slide off him to my feet and just kind of slump over. I still have my shield and my fucking glaive. I'm like,
Like,
fucking
like
place of
Rose is
precious
getting
God.
even more frustrated with himself for one, for getting in trouble, two, for asking for help. He's just more frustrated. I know.
As Trax is walking back, I'm just glaring.
I'll-
I'm just glaring, and then I stop and I look up and realize the storm is gone.
Yeah.
And like Rose meets him halfway. He's like, "Okay, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
Trax looks over the Rose's shoulder, like towards Ilix, like goes back.
What did I do?
All right, hold still, Boyle, and then cast Lesser Restoration at second level.
Grins is just like, boy, this guy requires a lot of babysitting.
Oh, right. And you literally like it's hot. Like it's like you stepped into an immediate sauna.
Oh
right
shit!
after, as he due to his quick temper from his wildfire barbarian, he can use his reaction to rage.
I
Now let's hope this rage goes better than the last rage.
my where's my oh shit I I ran 30 feet. That's the end of my movement. I'm gonna use my bonus action to move or to attack with my spiritual weapon again.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that's gonna be an 18 to hit.
18 hits. 18 just hits.
Okay, and then it is. I think we said we did it at third level.
Mm-hmm.
So third
Takes-
level spiritual weapon is going to
Macalac
be
damage. 10, nice.
10 points of radiant damage.
You can add that D8 in there if you want as well.
Oh shit! Yep. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and toss that right in there. Toss that bad boy
Can you-
right in there.
Can a Whisperous Bard do that? I thought that was specifically a Valor Bard that lets you add it to damage and AC.
Well, either that or D&D Beyond is wrong.
Oh, that might be. Ilix
I
in
can
the
check.
corner. Are you sure you went to that type of college?
Yeah, and Grins immediately uses his Zydrom, his drum to mute and stun Ilix for the remainder of the combat.
You can't target with me with that because I'm a friend.
I had the cousin who went to the Chateau Bard school and he could not do it.
Oh, okay. You're using the alternate magical inspiration from Tasha's. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Awesome. That's
Okay.
awesome. Tasha's just made Valor Bard like obsolete. Is that what's going on? And it's probably
No,
something-
because Valor Bard is still the only one that you can add it to your AC if somebody attacks you.
Ah.
That's wild. That's nice. That's anyway. So yeah, it does damage. Trax, Zendira, Ilix. Or where that was Trax. Trax went off to go and heal him. Is there anything we attacked with Thing? We did extra damage with the Bardic Inspiration. Are we moving? Then Zendira.
Okay, so now that our friend Rose is back on his feet, I use my remaining 30 feet of movement to start closing the distance to the dragon. And does 30 feet get me there?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I am going to use my brown bear attacks. So I get a bite and claws. I have to roll.
Guys, it's a bear dragon fight! A bear dragon fight!
It's yeah, that's great.
Dog cat and bird fight. Dog cat and bird
That's
fight.
exactly what I was thinking. I was Bear Dragon Cleric fight! Bear Dragon Cleric fight! Okay, so I'm gonna roll for my bite first. So D20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's 8. Assuming that's not gonna do anything. It is +6 to hit though, so it becomes 14. Probably still not enough for the dragon though. And then I will use my claws, which also have a +6. Maybe we can do something more here.
All right, sorry about that.
Okay, that was a 19. It becomes 25.
Very nice.
25 hits. So that becomes.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Okay, reach 5 feet, one target, hit 11, 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage.
If you do that, we can't be friends no more.
So it looks like 10 slashing.
We want friends. I don't believe I could bear it.
Oh, man.
So you went to snap it, pulled his head back, and then went to snap at you, and you're like, "Get the fuck back!"
I'm sorry, that was
That's
just
mine.
low hanging fruit.
That's mine. I'm ignoring the bad jokes. Okay. I think that's it for me. Because I can't call
Alright.
lightning down for some reason.
You wouldn't want to call lightning down on yourself right now, anyways.
The dragon needs a new charge. It's running on E.
Dragon has no charge. Yeah, that's the pseudo dragon. It's not like every round I roll for to get his breath stuff back. That's up to you guys.
Mhm. No more elemental damage! Okay.
Well, he can't get radiant damage in there, so start doing that.
You know, like, instead of turning to a bear, I almost cast Cruel Sun when we started this out. Yeah, that's it for me. So.
All right, and then that's Corinne's turn.
All right. Grins is going to go ahead and see about how far away is the dragon from Grins now.
Let's see. Grins moved a bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
Grins is now about 60 feet. Or I guess if you move your full movement, you would be 45 feet.
Okay. Grins is gonna go ahead and just for fun, he's gonna test the waters with the level 1 dissonant whispers directed at the dragon. So that is a wisdom saving throw of 16.
10 minus 3. No, that's not happening. These things have no wisdom.
Oh, well that's cool. So we'll go ahead and do 3d6
Most-
psychic.
Yeah, what you guys have realized, most of the underground, freshly made abominations don't have any wisdom. Those ones that have been out in the world and have been mutating since the dawn of corruption, those are pretty smart.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and
That was
Fury the Small that
nice.
as well. So Fury the Small adds an extra 6 damage. That thing takes 23 damage and must spend all of its movement, if it can, moving away from me.
Oh yeah.
So Grins just walks up and he's like, all right, let's see what you got, and starts just like this dissonant hissing, whispering while like staring, glaring down at the dragon.
Oh yeah, it immediately like the bear smacked its head and it went and started glaring at the bear, and then like it hears like in the background it rolls around and like rears its neck up, it hisses, and you just like, and its eyes like flicker, and like almost like a couple of the bones that were made out of these metal strips and scrap just kind of hit the ground for a bit as it almost like falls apart, like it couldn't even hold itself together. and then like shakes its head a bit, and then like looks over at you, and as the hissing keeps coming from your direction, it takes a step back, and then just a snap, and then it growls, and it takes a step back, it snaps and hisses again. Yeah.
Does it provoke an attack of opportunity from Zendira as it backs away?
On its second step, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you better run. Okay, so I get a multi-attack as the bear. Do I get to roll both then?
Yep.
Nice. Let me pull it back up so I know what I'm
For
rolling.
attack and opportunity, you can do multi-attack. Are you sure?
It's listed as an action. It says the bear
But
makes
that's
2
a
attacks,
reaction.
one with its bite and one with its claws.
But that's a reaction.
Right,
but
but
it's
both my
real-
attacks are listed under my actions as well.
It's DM's call.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll do. I guess you would choose then,
Okay.
like one or the other, whatever you would want to use. You snap at it.
Yeah, I will then swing with my claws again. So
Yeah.
D20. That becomes an 11 plus 6 for 17.
Yep. No.
Okay. No.
17
Oh,
just
Just
missed.
need an 18. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Oh well.
That was a good combo, though.
You get a
Yeah,
good
that's-
scrape of metal as it just rakes across like one of its jutted out bones as it pulls its arm away and kind of looks back at you and snaps and it's keep backing away. Its tail now whips the edge of the hive, and the hive shakes a bit as it starts to back away into that corner. That's grins. So then Ilix.
Okay. So Ilix, I would like to be within 30 feet of Katya, but just like on the back edge of that,
Mm-hmm.
and then continue firing with the bow.
Yeah, so you slide in 15 feet into that 30 feet, that 5 feet square into 30 feet, and you start pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, darn, that's not gonna hit.
Ooh,
15.
Womp womp.
And that's better. 23. And then so that's 4 piercing damage plus 1 lightning damage plus
Just enough to charge it again.
Oh no!
1 additional piercing damage. Wow, that hurt.
one of them. So one of them binks off at an angled metal piece, and it knocks its head over, and then it comes back, and one of them kind of hits it just under the jaw inside. It goes bink, and it's like.
All of my fur starts to stand on end. Static electricity.
Yeah, yeah, as you're in the.
All right.
Just
And bonus action, command Katya. So she's going to run up and she's going to make a bite attack.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say
Why
that
did I
every
roll a
time that
d6?
happens,
I'm
it's
just
like
used to rolling
Godzilla
d6s for her reactions. So.
down on him.
Oh, nice. So she got a 23 to hit.
Yep.
She's doing better than me. So it's going to be 6 plus proficiency bonus. So 7 piercing damage as she latches onto it.
All right. Yeah, just it bites down. It's still trying to back up into the corner and starts to scrape around the area. Pieces of it are starting to fall off of it. It is still oozing out of itself. Eckern, still zipping about, pulls the top half of this large, like, mannequin doll, just pulls it out from the wall, and goes, "I think I found it. It's over there." And he looks over. It's in the hive. Oh. It's in the corner.
Jopa.
Right. Who's surprised? I'm not surprised. This is exactly what we should have been expecting. This is our luck. This is how these things always go.
Okay, Mom. Shite.
So Averin picks up another one. All right, let's go. And takes his point of exhaustion. His eyes glow up. Mass telekinesis. And he goes, reaches out, and tries to pull back. And the whole thing starts to lurch out a bit. And then hits the ground. And he's like dragging it out of the room. He's like, come on. And he like pulls. And he goes, come on. As he starts to drag this large object, and it's peeling, and this parts of the black webbing snapping off of it, and he's slowly dragging it across the ground. He's like, it's very heavy! The dragon is going to continue to back away and hits the back wall, and then looks around and can't shake Katya off of him, starts flailing its neck around. From the back point, it charges from the back of its tail all the way up its spine. No wings are upon it right now. So the two obelisks that held all of those razors just start to spark out. And it lowers its head and the head hits the ground hard, plap, plap, and then it bubbles out this gross black liquid across the ground. And it hits your feet, Zendira, and it hits who's close by. Ilix. It's not that close.
Okay, it might
He's
just be me.
outside of the range. Let's see. Anybody within 40 feet.
I was
think it's
in
just me.
35 before I made it move away from me.
Yep. So, and then so it just kind of rolls like the wave of the beach just kind of hits your feet, and then it kind of lifts its head up again and slaps it back down, and the whole field that it's black goose rolled out of starts to spark. And becomes a minor shocking. And can I get a Constitution saving throw from Zendira and Ilix? And I believe, because you just walked back, so you are out of it, Trax. And then Ilix is
Ilix too?
is just outside of its range. You just went up to be 30 feet to Katya.
I just wanted to be close enough that she could use her.
Yeah, you're like, right now, even with it moving over, you're like 60 feet away from it. As it started to move over to your corner.
Okay, so D20 plus 3, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice. Right. And then that and grins. So then just grins, Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh. That's only a 12.
I'm sure Grins is good at those.
So grins takes pap. Grins takes 8 lightning damage. Zendira takes 4 lightning damage.
This would be when I roll to see if I've still got my hypnotic pattern thing going.
Mm-hmm. As it is like consistently like dropping wasps out of the sky as they just kind of like pass by and plop 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 plop. And now they've almost completely marked the cone.
Nice.
Nice.
We're holding on.
Yeah, and they've almost the ones in the air have almost completely marked your cone. As they now is just like this is dangerous, and like all of them are just hitting it and falling out of the sky.
Oh, hypnotic pattern doesn't it lasts on the things that it hit, but it doesn't affect things
Ah.
in the area.
Good then, no, then oh yeah, a whole bunch of them that were just marked up, just hit the ground, and they're not coming back up. They're done. All right,
That smarted. Ow, yep, nope.
Rose's turn.
Thanks for the extra hit points.
You're welcome.
Rose's turn. He hears Eckern sit there and say, "It's in the hive." He's like, "I'll be back," and he dashes.
Fuck. He's not even fully healed. He's not even fully healed.
Grinch is like, somebody save him!
The dragon takes a snap.
Oh my god.
The dragon misses. He slides, and the dragon snap, slides under, gets back up, and then plows into the side of this hive. Just breaks the sidewall. Just
In bear form, I look at it and I just go.
Ekron goes. Did anybody tell him what was supposed to be looking for?
No.
No, I no.
And that was his
Is he
turn.
gonna come out like holding the queen by the neck or something? I got it. That's awesome.
Like Draxing it with that one where he's like all riding it. He's like, if I just punch it more.
I'm single-handedly slaying the beast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he dives in, and that's it. Yeah, you don't see him anymore. That's his turn. All right, so Trax.
Oh man, I'm my hands are still like this because I just got done doing that, and I'm looking like,
Good.
oh, you don't have any hit. Oh
Don't you have the
no.
healing word?
So once again, Trax goes like this, and then he just kind of walks forward, but invisibly with steps of night. So I'm gonna take my 30 feet of movement and
Pouring out wasps from the opening sore, just pouring out.
Jesus Christ.
Averin goes, we need to get out of here, guys. You need to get out. I'll shut the door once I pull this thing out. And it's like slowly dragging from behind you guys now. It's like, it takes up a good like 50 feet. It's like 50 feet long, and it's like dragging this limp mannequin out of this goo.
How far is the thing to the door now?
It is starting to reach the door. Its head is 10 feet from the door, and it kind of laid down, and then he's drug it about 100 feet now. He's just kind of pulling this thing through the ground.
Shit. Okay, so I know. Okay, I just use. Damn that fucking barbarian. So that was my bonus action with Steps of the Night. So I am basically like flying over slowly with my 30 feet of movement. And
doing like the Mission Impossible like ballerina dodges of all of things flying, buzzing through the air.
oh, I'm not dodging because I still have my spirit shroud on, so I'm just like area damage, all those fucking things.
Oh yeah, just anyone
Green Spirit Guardians. Spirit Guardians, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Spirit Guardians. Yeah.
Okay.
not his damage.
So
I was gonna say
I
Spirit
wa-
Shroud is something different.
yeah.
Alexander, wouldn't that bring you out of invisibility?
I know I misspoke. Shut up, Dragon Man. Jeez. So yeah, for the next minute, I'm in the air with my Spirit Guardians,
It does say in
thrashing.
the source book.
Yeah, thrashing everything. I'm going
Yeah.
towards
Every
where the
now
bad
and then one of them will fly across and just and just is filled with holes and then just hit the ground.
Um, as my action, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast. How far? Okay, so if I'm 30 feet back in that direction, that means I'm 10 feet behind Zendaya, right? Or am I right on
And
top of Zendaya?
if you're heading to the dragon, then
Yeah, because he went 10 feet back and then went 30 feet forward. So did
Uh-huh.
he go? Did he move forward anymore?
he moved 20 feet, would have moved 20 feet closer to it and hit and gotten into its range.
Okay, so then I'm behind Zendaya then. So
About
so that means
and about 35 feet from Ecker in front of him.
and the barbarian is how far from me?
He is now about 80 feet, maybe 100 feet, as he is somewhere inside the 50-foot corner of the building.
Okay. I'm gonna do
Somebody
guiding
grab
bolt.
the moron!
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to cast guiding bolt at the bad guy. That's a 20 to hit, a dirty 20,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
and that's at
You pick a shooting. You pick a star out of your spirit guardians, and you toss it like a bolt.
oh goodness, 16 hits of damage.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
More of the metal starts to fall off of its structure as its head shakes, and some of its neck ligaments are popping off.
So basically, the next attack roll that's made towards it has advantage,
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna stop. I don't have any more movement left, right? No, I shouldn't. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop with that.
Lair action.
Oh no.
As pieces start to fall off, it goes to reach out and step down, and it breaks from right here, and hits on its shoulder, and it looks over, and it's still looking over, it grins and huh, and it looks over at the rest of you guys, and it sees there's a big hole in the hive where everything's pouring out, and it goes
Shit.
as some of the ones that are hovering around, and it start just piling it onto it and burying it in these different pieces of stuff in there, and some of the broken webbing, black ooze webbing that was peeling off, and it starts sucking that in, and it starts to suck in all of these corrupted custodians flying around.
It's going. That's what it's doing.
Alright, we need to leave. We need to grab the idiot and leave.
You think?
Am I up then? Am I up?
And then it's in Zendire's turn.
So when I heard grab the moron, and saw the guiding bolt shoot towards the dragon, I assumed that
There
he
is
meant grab the dragon.
You can still see a beam pouring out of the cracks and crevices that this ball of scrap is starting to collect.
So I am going to. I'm gonna run at the dragon in bear form and make another attack at it. Yeah, pretty much. So roll I'm gonna roll claws first. And
Do
this-
whatever does the most damage first, because that one has advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this one, claws do 2d6 plus 4 instead of 1d8 plus 4. So we will do claws first. 2d20, take the highest. A 1 and a 17. So with a plus 6, please go away. That becomes 24.
Yeah. You
Um,
come down, you start still slashing away this stuff. You're like, get the fuck out of here. You get a good look at one like its shoulder, like and you're like, yeah,
But
fuck your shoulder.
but that one had advantage, so roll the second one just in case it's a
no,
20.
no. The first, I rolled a 1 and a 17.
Oh, I
It's a
gotcha.
good thing it had advantage. Okay, so 2d6 plus 4 damage.
You know, you can just right click and say advantage.
On the d20? Well, that's
Oh, not on
5 plus-
custom rolls. Okay.
Yeah, it was a custom roll. 5 plus 3 plus 4 is going to be 8, 12 damage. That's 12 slashing. Right? Slashing, yes. And then one more attack. So d20. That's a 15, so plus 4 is going to be a 19.
Yeah.
Alright, so then 1d8 plus 4. It's a 1, but plus 4 becomes 5. And
Well,
yes, another 5 slash.
He's just like,
No, 5 piercing,
You're like-
sorry.
it's like you're slashing at sand. There's like something that's getting buried by like sand, and you're like slashing at it. Like you keep having to move it away to hit.
Very
You're like,
frustrating.
get that out of the way. All right. Anything else?
His thing is it doesn't require concentration, does it?
He's just already covered. He just
Yeah,
covered.
okay. I think that's pretty much everything I can do right now.
But it does stop. So you did the damage, and like stuff stops coming back that you're slashing off. It's just kind of still rolling over him and stuff.
Okay. That's it for
All
me.
right. That's Grins.
Alright, so we've got the Moron in the hive. We've got the dragon that's healing up. We've got Bear attacking.
The mannequin is about shoulder out of the doorway.
And Ekern, where's Ekern in all of
Ekern
this
is
now?
still
That is
plugged
the thing.
in about 50
We
feet
can
from the
totally
door.
take this dragon.
Okay, so he's behind us. How many wasps do we have flying around right now?
None.
None.
He just blew them all into himself, and then
All-
I was killing them as I was flying about.
Alright,
So
guys, get the Moron, get the statue out of here, and let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on said dragon.
Moron, that was smart play.
So, Grin starts whispering and chuckling to himself slowly, and playing, a little bit of a, kind of thing on his drum, like a comedy. And gonna attempt to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter, like I said, on the dragon. So move just within 30 feet. That's a Wisdom saving throw of 16. Dragon will be prone and incapacitated for a minute.
So it's like you're like, quick, dog on it before it gets up. And you just come down oppressively on it. It gets a 7 minus 3. So for its wisdom. Literally just like make this like oppressive like nature upon it. Like it almost like gravity just kind of holds it down now. Just everything looks like a compacted tight. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
well. If it takes any damage, it gets to try to snap out of it. FYI, guys.
Okay.
The wisdom.
It gets to repeat the wisdom saving throw.
So this was
2
Tasha's?
minus 3.
It has advantage
4
if
minus
it's triggered.
3.
It has advantage if
minus
it's
3.
triggered by damage. So
So I'm looking at.
I don't know, guys. I'm looking at this. It's like I've taken, I think, the most damage, and I've still got like a total of like what 80 hit points. I still got 31 in bear form, and then I got 45 in human form, and I've got another wild shape it'll have to get through. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we can take this
Taunt the
dragon.
DM.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's my
Taunt
rules.
the DM.
I'm just saying, like.
Right, but we don't know if the moron will survive for that entire period of time. And
That's
even though he's
what
a
I'm
moron,
talking about. Yeah.
we need to get him out of here. We need to save him from himself.
All right, so we're gonna come back here and we're gonna do this without the moron. Okay, I can get behind that plan.
All right.
Don't forget Eckern on the way out.
Oh shit.
I'll scoop Eckert up as a bear, just like run out on 3 legs.
So okay.
Round.
So pause. Meta. Okay. So the battlefield consists of left corner, right corner with hives. One's getting thrashed about, and the other one just got plunged and basically surprise butt sexed by the barbarian.
See, the other side didn't have anything. Ekern pulled down a sorter unit, one of these large cylindrical things that roll along the wall, and their tentacles pull out things and sort them back up again from the wall.
Is Ekron still inside the other doll?
Ekern is in the floor, the custodian unit.
Okay, the custodian unit, and then he's pulling the doll out. But
yeah, Everin in the back of the room is pulling the doll out. Ekern pulled it from the wall to show, hey, we need this out of here. And Averin used greater telekinesis to start dragging it out of the room.
so we still got a guy in the middle of the room that we need to get out.
He's on the outside of the door.
Oh, he's on the outside of the door.
Because that's
So
where
we-
all the X rods are at. He was sitting there sorting through them. Sitting...
But the guy inside the custodian is where? In the middle of the room or in the floor?
Ekern is in the floor about 50 feet from the door, where there's a little podium, kind of like a where am I at kiosk. You can
Okay,
click
got
on
it. So he's the door greeter. Got it. I was a little confused. I thought originally we went all the way, but we did come all the way back with the custodian, and then okay, got it. All right, so we have one person we're trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
Lord Rouge.
So who's going into the hive?
Drag,
You have to ask.
the
If
drag
I'm,
takes
I say we
I
send
vote as
Katya.
Katya.
5 fire damage.
who what
The dragon takes 5 points of fire damage.
from what?
The corner of the room.
Oh shit! And now he has advantage on his saving throw. That's how
Yep.
that works, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works.
Yeah. So when it comes back to his turn, he has advantage, or right now he has because he can't make a saving throw when it's out of his turn. Correct.
He makes a saving throw when he takes damage.
Somebody want to hit him with a lightning strike? My
How
thunder
much-
cloud is gone.
What was that?
What's the DC?
The DC is 16.
Oh no, 13 minus 3.
Okay.
He has a minus 3 to wisdom. He's a babe. He's a baby. He just came out of the ground.
Just a wee bear.
That is a adolescent pseudo ooze dragon.
So I can't get there faster, but I have a good possibility of destroying everything in my path when I get to it. So
Okay.
I don't have a
All
lot
to
of
the
hit
dragon
points,
out.
but I have enough hit. I haven't been hit yet.
So it's just
Also.
Felix's turn. But yeah, not with that radiant damage flailing around. You ain't nothing. Just trying to get close.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Do we say Ilik's turn?
Yeah.
Okay. How far into the hive did Lord Rose get?
You're not sure. He dived. He jumped and dived in about 10 feet off the ground. He punctured it as he fell in, and somewhere within 50 feet of that corner.
Okay.
Assuming you didn't go through the back wall.
Oh,
Yeah, so he has to at least be somewhere within that 50 feet corner. He's not going to the wall, you know.
so let's see here. Can Ilix just kind of shake his head and take off after him? He's got 70 feet of move speed if he dashes.
Nice.
Oh.
So, but what I'm wondering, because that leaves Katya out here, and I really don't want to leave Z alone facing the dragon.
The dragon is
So
having a great time right now.
Dragon's having a great time.
I'm wondering if I can just like leave a standing order with Katya, because I can't see what she's doing if I go after Lord Rose in the hive. But can I leave like a standing order with Katya to support Zendira?
Yeah, and then Katya would use the best mode that she would think is important to do.
Yeah. Okay. So Ilix just straight up dash, sticks his bow back, and grabs the Ikola, and just takes off running, and tries to jump into the same spot that Lord Rose did.
Yeah, it's soft. It's a soft, papery tissue.
Remember me!
Membraney tissue, and you jump and you like through it, and then you look out, and it is almost. It looks bigger on the inside than it was on the outside. Almost like it's kind of dug a bit of the wall out from the corner.
So he did go through the back
You
wall.
hit and there are different type of custodians, and then there is like a gross, twisted, corrupted sorter in the corner, pulling like combs, like honeycombs out, and like shoving eggs in one, and like gross stuff. And then
that's pleasant.
And then you see what looked like it was like a hole in like the back of the wall that has been since who knows how long crumbled in and caved inward. And then about in the same angular direction, dug into the ground, top first, is a large golden hex rod.
Do I see Lord Rose anywhere?
Sticking out of the ground as this gross, like almost like veiny, like growth on the back end of it that's sticking out, and then it follows to this long, undulating, eight pincer-like feet reared up with this large, snapping, like 5-piece head, and a flaming barbarian gripped on one and is like punching at the lip every time it comes reaching out for him, laughing hysterically as every now and then like he's like, you can't eat me now, I'm not food yet. And then it like he like laughs, and then it like slams his whole head on the ground, and the laughing kind of stops, and it picks back up, and he's like,
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding.
I found what you're looking for. This should stop them flowing out, yes?
Okay.
Ilix, what do you see?
Oh, it's not pretty.
Oh no! They're killing him.
Okay.
Oppressively hot in there. You like stepped into a sauna where someone turned the dial up way too hot and locked the outside of the door.
Okay. So I had a little hard time hearing you though. The golden hex rod is not part of this creature though, right?
It is.
It's separate. It is part of the. Okay.
Kind of. kind of, yeah. Like like there's the creature, and then like its like gross bottom half is kind of attached, veiny like to the very back end tip of this hex rod that's stuck out of the ground nearby.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that was my action to dash, all of my movement. I'm assuming it was all in my movement. No, I was about 50 feet away.
And then you jump.
So I should be able to get up to him, right?
Yeah, you're up to it. Yeah, it takes up a good amount of space.
Okay. And that
You would have smacked it. You would have smacked it if it wasn't reared up and fighting this thing. And then like you're like, what in God's name? And it slams down next to you. And then it lifts up slowly. You see him like literally right next to you, like ah.
Why does it sound like a piranha plant growing out of the hex rod?
It's like a four, like yeah, like,
right.
like 5 different pieces that like keep with like a tooth at each end is like trying to get at him. He keeps punching it away from him.
Okay. So that is everything Alex can do because his bonus action to leave a standing order with Katya.
Ah, all right. Avrin, he's like reaching out, and he gets about the elbow down out of the door, and he grabs another one, and he squeezes it, and he takes another point of exhaustion, and then he's like, he drags the whole thing, just tumbled. He's like, all right, whenever you're ready, and he holds his action on the doors, and he grabs them. And that's his turn. The dragon. 2 minus 1. Or 2 minus 3. A lot of the excess metal and stuff and ooze starts to just roll off. The dragon, where it was once skeletal metal, gross black sinew, keeping everything kind of taut together, covered in this now rigid, scaly, stone-like material from the custodians, as it basically used its prior hex construct body pieces to now cover itself in scales. Still oppressed down into the floor. It slowly rumbles and whips its tail once.
It tells me that's going to help it a lot against piercing and slashing damage.
So, it doesn't look like it's holding up any better. As pieces still kind of fall off, and just like its tail, it'll push its arm back down into stuff, and then come back up with the stuff reattached, and pieces will kind of like fall off. Every now and then, his whole shoulder, his whole from his first limb, elbow falls out again, and he hits the ground, and it reconnects, and he pulls himself back up. And that is Prax's turn.
It's not fire. Oh, no, that Rose. It's Rose's turn.
Rose is preoccupied.
Okay.
He is punching the shit out of a worm wasp queen creature. He's fighting the queen alien pretty much. He's like punching it in the face.
Got it.
Alex, he was bloody as piss. He lost.
I kind of
Really should have brought a loading mech.
Zendara is in front of me still in melee range with the dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to move 20 feet to where Zendara is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be right up on Zendara. And I'm going to use that opportunity to. Um, how many hit points? You took a little bit of damage, right?
A little bit, not a lot. I'm at 31
A
right
little bit,
now.
not a lot. Okay.
And max for a brown bear is 34.
As my bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and swing again with my um spiritual weapon. I think that yeah, that would be the thing I would do, honestly, is go ahead and attack still because
Hit it
they're
again.
not out of there still. They're still not out of there. And even if I were to move away, well, you know what? I'm inside melee range right now. So yeah, first let me attack with my spiritual weapon. So let's do that. Fuck! It was a nat one. Do we get advantage for it being on?
Yes, it is.
It is prone.
It is
Oh, yeah.
prone.
I was like,
I'm
you've
a,
been falling behind on your meditations.
yeah. All right, 17.
That hits.
Nice.
All right. And let's see. Spiritual weapon will be 1d8. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be 7 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it looks like it hit that a lot harder than it did. Oh, it almost like takes pieces of the scales with it as it blades down.
And I'm going to go ahead
But
and.
he rolled a 19 minus 3 for his wisdom saving throw.
It's all right, because I still got hits.
Yeah, it's like that's all right. It's
um,
almost like the soft, gurgly rumble inside is now picking up, and almost sounds like a machine whirring up to activate. It's like,
Every time the thing is hit, Grins is like, you know, it's like, guys, I lost him.
uh-huh.
He's loose. He's loose.
So I was looking at the hive, thinking maybe I should run and help them get the golden hex rod. Then I hear Grin screaming. I turn back and look at the dragon, and I'm like, nope.
so make the big baddie do a wisdom saving throw.
No.
It needs to be 14.
Ooh, 14. So it needs
Yeah.
to roll. No, 14 minus 3.
20 points of radiant star power hits him from all the stars that are floating around me. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two,
Nice.
I'm gonna do my actual. I haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna do an actual attack roll, and I'm gonna use Dawn Cleave and go ahead and hit him. Ah, well, nope. Yeah, nope. That's a 10. It's not gonna hit. That is not going yet. Never mind.
Oh yeah, just oozing from its neck, just oozing.
Oh shit! I'm going to expend one charge to add a D4 to my attack roll, so that makes it 14. Oh, hold on. Let's see. A D4, D4, D4. The most it could do is make it 14, which it
Yeah.
did. It still doesn't hit. Okay, never
Nope.
mind. Damn.
You said that was an attack roll, right?
Uh oh. Uh oh.
It hasn't gotten up yet. Has it?
Oh, it hasn't moved from being on prone.
So it's broken
Not
from the spell,
technically.
but it was prone still, right?
Mhm.
Ah.
So that would give you advantage on the attack roll, right?
It has just reached its neck up. It is still prone on the ground.
That would
It
become
cannot.
16, wouldn't it?
Would become a 16.
And 16 is not enough.
Nah.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Ah,
No worries. It's okay. It's all
Good
right.
shot.
Good watching out. How come everybody gets mad when I point stuff out, but not when anybody else does?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because one helps us and one doesn't.
We need. Hold on. Jackson's just gonna look. Jackson's gonna look around and look towards the big old gaping hole in the hive and go, "Raid the room."
It's just oozing from its neck. Lair action or legendary action.
No.
It rears up, and from its oozing neck, the ooze starts to become more rigid, and it rears up at you, Trax, and launches these like needles around you, and they like attach to his neck. These like webbed, gross black tendrils. I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Is this a spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he not prone
Is it-
anymore?
He's still prone.
Okay.
He just reared his neck up.
I'm going to use a charge of my Null Eater and use Mage Eater and automatically save on my spell saving throw.
All right.
Nice.
You put the shield up, and
Limited
All-
legendary resistance.
all these, I haven't given him legendary resistances yet. All of these tendrils that are around you start to ripple and then shoot needles across in all directions around you, from the bottom all the way up. It's basically like, and you get hit by the ooze prison that you saved. So you take from the places that aren't around the shield. Oh, not that. No. No. This one.
Oof. Oof.
12 damage. Piercing
12
damage.
damage.
Oh, because it's halved. Nice.
That he saved.
Yikes.
It didn't seem to absorb any type of magic though.
Well, it's not
That
going
was
to
an option.
Yeah, it's not going to absorb my magic anyway. All right, be right back, guys.
All right.
Is Zendaya up?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead. So I am just going to rush back in and do normal bear attack stuff. Because why wouldn't I? So I'll start with the claws. And this
it's
has-
still prone, so that's advantage.
with advantage. For a nat
See,
20.
it's okay when all of you are at the bottom of the initiative order.
Ooh.
Nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
So
And as the claw comes, you said it was a claw, right?
these
Yep.
are the claws, yes.
As your claw rears back, it starts to spark lightning around it. And your strike is infused for an extra 2d6 of lightning damage.
Okay, so this
Why
is
do we
also
keep
like...
charging the dragon? Why are we charging the dragon?
I was like, I didn't know. It's like, I whack it and look at my claws like, what? Okay, so this was a crit. It does 2d6 plus 4. Does that become 46 plus 8?
46 plus 4.
46 plus 4.
Yeah, it only doubles the dice.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, 4d6 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
a decent roll. So 14 plus 4 becomes
guess-
18 plus 2d6 lightning.
Yeah.
So 2d6 lightning then for an additional 6. Should be, I think if I did everything right, what was that 24? 14 plus 4, yep, 24 damage total,
Oh yeah.
including the 6
Just-
lightning.
Now
Just
bite it.
strikes it.
Yes.
Now,
And yes, then I will bite it.
and then Yeah, you can start to see like underneath its underneath its body this rolling red and then blue swirling energy underneath the scales as it starts to roll through the scales like flap out of the way.
So I'm gonna try to start ripping stuff off to try to get there. So
Some-
with advantage for the bite. That was almost another nat 20. With a +6 on the 14 will become a dirty 20. So, and where did my damage go? Ground bearings. I think it was 1d8 +4. Yeah. D8. It's a 1 again, so that becomes 5. So 5 piercing with the +4.
Damn. As you strike, the red and swirling electrical energy starts to like die out slowly. You hear the whirring kind of go, "Ooh, ooh," and the head of the dragon kind of, well, and it hits the ground. All the ooze starts to run out the bottom of it.
All right.
Grin's turn. The light has gone from its eyes.
So it looks dead.
It has stopped moving. It has limped.
All right. There's a whole lot of stuff going on inside of that hive. Can we hear any of it from out here?
Now, yes, there are 2 holes in the hive, yes. You hear, every now and then, you hear something very, very large slam down, and it kind of, just a little bit. Looking over, you kind of notice it now, like, and you're like, oh, crud. And then Liz just like, fucking laughing. He's just like, and it interchanges, so it's like,
All right, I'm gonna go help retrieve the idiot. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Correct.
right
Dragon
now,
is dead.
Oh, how'd that happen?
bear claws.
Bear claw's nice.
Got a crit.
Filled with
the bear
pastries, the
claws.
way you like it.
Got a crit with the bear claws with extra lightning damage. So
And the energy stopped flowing through it, and it went limp.
yeah, I'm not convinced it's dead yet.
Well, I'm still standing by it, so it's still taking damage from me.
So we'll be just stand there. It'll be dead by the time we leave.
Failed saving throw. Failed saving throw. Failed saving throw.
All right, so about how far away is the hive from me at this point?
It is in the corner of 50 feet, so you are a good 30 feet from the outside of the hive.
All right. Well, I have
As
a
you went
walking
towards it.
speed of 35 feet, so I guess I can get there without dashing. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the edge there and try to see what's taking Ilix so long and pulling the moron out.
Give me a dexterity
He
saving
just
throw.
got in there.
Dexterity saving throw.
What's this?
It's like it's been 2 game turns. I've been here 12 seconds.
It's a 13.
13. 13. So just enough. You come you like kind of like la, 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 and then you like do your little 5 feet jump in. Bloop. And you step right in, and then literally the head of this large, disgusting looking larva-like creature comes slamming down near you, and you literally like you hug the wall, and it kind of gives because it's like this papery, rubbery feel. You're like, ah, and you lift up, and you see this extremely bloodied, like dirt, ragged all over his once really nice suit. That he took his jacket off, so his nice white shirt is all tattered and covered, and he's bleeding out of it, and his face is all bloody and dirty from the ground that he's like getting slammed in considerably. And he gets a good eye contact with you. He goes, "Come to help!" And he starts punching this thing in the face.
And there's nothing else besides the 3 of us and that thing in here.
Right now, yes.
Okay.
That's ominous.
Fantastic. Well, maybe I should cast Friends on the thing. No. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and I see the hex rod over there now.
Mm-hmm. It's closer
Alright.
to you,
Like how close?
like 10 feet.
It was 30 feet to get there, right?
Yeah, and you hopped your 5.
I helped my 5. Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and test the waters here with a vicious mockery. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cast vicious mockery on the bug queen creature. See if we can connect. So
Goblins
16?
have a 35-foot land speed.
it's a wisdom save of 16.
It has a 15 plus 2.
That won't cut it then.
Unfortunately.
All right. So Grins just hops in there. He does his little dodge. He whispers something about
Fuck you. Fuck you.
like better luck next time. Okay. Well, that's pretty much the end of my turn. I don't really have anything else I can do there.
Alright. And then Ilix.
All right. So Elix is. Let's see here.
It's about
It's a fairly wide open space, right?
yeah. Kind of dug out and wide, yeah.
Okay. So seeing this plenty wide enough to use the primary spike, he's going to pull that out. And how like integral does this golden hex rod seem to this critter? Is it like something that Ilix could
There's a good 5 feet
try and
out
carve
of the
off of
ground
it?
that you can see is a hex rod. You know they're about 10 feet long. So you're not sure which of that extra 5 feet is in the ground and which of that extra 5 feet is in the creature. But you see about 5 feet of it exposed.
It's either really dumb or really smart. Does it look like? I guess I'm wondering, does it look like Ilix could like grab and try and yank it out?
Mm.
It looks is gonna be like running out with a hex rod with the barbarian on the back, still punching the thing in the face.
I mean, if Felix doesn't try it, Grins is gonna try it next turn with his -1 to strength.
You can certainly try. It is about 25 feet from you. About 10
Okay.
feet from Grins. Because he kind of jumped. You jumped about 5 feet from the initial tunnel, initial hole that Grins jumped into from the other guy.
All right. So Ilix is going to go over to it and try and yank it out. I'm assuming this is a strength check or.
Give me an athletics check.
Which is exactly the same as my strength check.
Yes. Just in case you had proficiency.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. Natural 1.
Just throw your back out there.
Not only
It looks like
pretty much understand.
he hugs it and tries to lift it, and then he gets exhausted and but keeps his grip on it and lets his weight, and the whole thing goes a little deeper in.
Grins is like, lift with your legs, not your back. Your legs, not your back.
Like you what you did do is you realize it's probably a good 3 to maybe 2.5 feet in the ground, and however much it is holding on to, it is more heavy than it was because of whatever creature is kind of resting its ass on it.
Would you throw your tail out?
Basically trying to pull his tail out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
That's about it. And I have no idea that the dragon is down, so he's not going to do. Katya's orders still stand.
Elix, the dragon's down.
Averin, in the back, you can start to hear electrical discharge as he's gripping these doors. And he goes, "Guys, I don't think I can hold on to this any longer," as he takes his third point of exhaustion.
Uh-oh.
But I'll keep it moving. We don't have a lot of time. Kill it and let me know so I can let go. Or get out, please.
Kill it as the dragon?
Or whatever you guys are doing.
As in the hex beast, I guess.
Okay.
And that is now Trax's turn.
How far away am I from the?
You're about 20
Cool.
feet from the hive, as you were up against the dragon, and the dragon was crawling closer and closer to the hive.
I am going to, I guess, try to help. I don't know what's going on in there, so I'm gonna. Are they outside right now, or are they inside?
Oh, they went inside. It's like so
Alright.
holy. You could like from your angle, you'd be like looking. You see like Ilix reaching over for something. You see like his ass end, and then you see Grins because you're looking through that hole. You can see Grins there, and you can see Ilix's ass end, and he's like looking like he's reaching over for something. And then like you look over, you're like, "What's going on?" And you see this large head hit the ground, and then reach up, and you can see a brief glimpse of the idiot as he drips blood from him.
All right. So I am going to healing word the idiot.
He stops bleeding.
He gets,
Better!
he gets 4 hit points.
It's like
I felt a little better.
he stopped bleeding. He is now bleeding.
And then I'm going to fuck, I guess I'm gonna go down there and try to help with this Hex Rod.
Oh my gosh.
So you head in there and give me an athletics check. Does Elix help?
Yes.
Elix uses reaction to help. You get advantage on the
Yes.
pull.
What
As
did you
Thrax
say?
comes in, I'm like, "Welcome to Club Hive."
Hey, at least I have a +1 for athletics. How about that? Alright,
Hey.
you ready? Let's go. Let's get my athletics in there. Bam. Dang!
You do have advantage because Ilix is helping.
Oh, then let's see if we can get that next
Yeah,
one.
it looks like, oh, careful, it's really stuck in there.
We're gonna go with that 18. I got a
Probably
14.
loosened it for you.
That hex rod really freaking heavy. But just initially, because Ilix kind of pulled it up a little bit, you feel it give, right? And then both of you like partner Kamehameha this out of the floor, like you guys are like, "Ah!" And you feel it give away, and then you can feel it the dirt loosen when you start to get to the point of the hex rod. So it like really loosens up, and you guys are lifting up. Now it's basically you're trying to get the weight of this ass off of the end of it, so it's really top heavy, and y'all are like, and you like drop it, and it like crushes the back end of this bug, and it kind of starts to parts of the webbing of the like veininess that is gripped upon the edge starts to peel off, and it kind of slinks away like yeah
Hey, he said thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Nice.
like if you guys
I
have
help.
played Ocarina of Time and you lifted one of those obelisks out of the ground at the end, Link's like and you like toss it up over your head. This 10-foot obelisk out of the ground. Awesome. All right. Anything else?
No, let's
Otherwise,
get the fuck out of there.
then Dyra's turn.
Okay, so in bear form, can I move after making an attack?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Is
Kick
this thing?
dragon.
Yeah, it's like I want this thing. Make sure this thing is dead. So I am going to go ahead and use my multi-attack on it if I can. If there's anything left to attack. Okay, so I will once again. Well, I'll start with the claws. Do I have advantage for this attack roll?
It is prone. It's done. It's on the ground.
Okay. Am I actually attacking something with
I
this?
think you actually auto crit because it's technically unconscious.
Okay, so then I just rolled. I think you're actually. So in that case, I guess I rolled damage.
Yeah.
Do I still have Katya helping? I guess it doesn't really matter at this point.
Basically, like you're.
I mean, sure, she'll infuse your strike.
I mean, so this is a multi-attack, so I'm gonna hit it once, and then I'm gonna hit it again. Is there anything left to hit by the time I'm done there?
You're like just digging into its neck that it's been all exposed. It's just like laying and. Like,
Okay.
fuck you, kicking it.
So when I'm done with it, is it dead?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
A dex saving throw as a bear. Okay. So, do 20. With plus 0. Oh boy. 8.
Oh. The once hovering bladed wings that were just hovering around has lost their magic and just started to fall from the sky. Long ways.
Oh boy.
Just it's all in the general area. One just kind of busts the shoulder out of one of the middle legs of the dragon and stuff. It's just kind of falling. You take.
Can Katya? Is it possible to give a help action on a save?
Katya grabs a tuft of the bear's hair on its ass end and goes to pull. How does the roll another dex save? I guess.
Okay.
If you fail again, it's just like it just pulls hair out of your ass.
Oh, it's a 4. It was like 18. 4.
Katya,
Katya like comes running and just like goes to push him out of the way, but she's still a small creature and he's large. So she literally like piles into the side of him and bounces back.
Yeah, Bear gets nothing on dexterity, so.
Yeah. So we take. Bear takes. Bap. 5 piercing damage as it falls from the ground.
Okay. 5 damage. Alright, well, then I will move my 30 feet back away. And then, as a bonus action, at the end of my movement, I am going to lose the bear form and turn back into an unassuming druid.
Make an Arcana check.
Arcana. Okay. Do I get to do this in my druid form?
Yeah, you leave
Okay.
you leave bear form. You do Arcana check.
Becomes 19.
Yeah, wild shape doesn't change your mental stats.
It shouldn't.
Oh. You sure? No, anyways.
It doesn't.
Well, anyways, Arcana. I got a
Polymorph
16
changes
plus
mental stats. Wild shape does not.
Ooh, 19.
19.
As you dissipate, as the wild magic dissipates from you, your bear form as it starts to like steam off of you, and you change back, you can almost see it wisp towards the dragon.
Whoa! No.
As expended magic starts to, it's almost like watching the air flow out of a cave, and you're like, where is that going? And you like have the smoke, and you're watching the air flow through the cave. Just a little bit, nothing special. You just noticed. That's all.
Well, I'm very glad I noticed.
I mean,
Okay.
you basically overkilled it, so hey, hey. All right, grins.
So, this bug creature, how detached is it looking from the hex rod? And
It's detached. You can see the extra like foot and a half that it was holding onto at the end, but it's underneath the hex rod, so the hex rod's kind of like squished its ass end underneath it.
okay. And Ilix has the hex rod now. We've still got our moron holding on to this bug thing.
I feel much better now.
Do we need this door open anymore?
Yes, we're coming.
Let's see, did Indira actually make it into the hive yet?
I was moving towards the door.
Mm.
Because I thought you guys were probably finishing up in there.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead
Pick up Ekron on the way.
Grins goes ahead, he kind of hoists his drum up a little bit. And he's gonna go ahead and looking around, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and he like slaps the drum once, but like as he does, he like his hand comes up like he's holding on to something and there's no sound from it.
Ooh.
And he's like, everybody, shut your eyes! And I'm gonna ready another hypnotic pattern for when everybody hypothetically shuts their eyes, and it'll blind, so anybody who hasn't shut their eyes, then it'll affect. It's only people who can see it that it affects.
So basically, it tracks Indira.
Can I hear if you're in the
Well,
hive, though, can I see
I'm gonna
you
go
in the
ahead
hive?
and
No, I wouldn't.
I'm getting
So-
ready to release it into the hive in the situation where all allies have their eyes closed.
Sir Rose, has a cut up eyelash and shit. It's like I can't see anything. Okay.
It's like it would be ideal if we could actually knock him out too and drag him out.
I think he'll come out willingly.
Sure. Well, there's no more wasps to destroy. I'm sure he'll come
Yeah.
out willingly. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut my
hypnotic
eyes.
pattern, and then I guess you can send your way out. You still have your movement.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like get right on the edge, like ready to jump out and leave with everybody else when they leave.
Yeah. All right. So then, everybody has his eyes shut. Ilix, you shut your eyes. Bam! Hypnotic pattern. That is a wisdom.
It's a wisdom save of 16.
14 plus 1. So.
All right, for the next minute, that thing is out until somebody hits it. So, idiot, don't hit it, please. Nobody touch him! Nobody touch her!
He's like getting like scratched by the like tips of the jaws, the little poker at the end of the jaws. Every now and then he's like swinging at it just to kind of keep it from it hits him, and then he's like ah, and then it hits him again. He's like ah, and then it doesn't hit him. He's like, and it just kind of, and he like hits the ground. He's like oh, and he like pushes his way off of it. He's like oh.
It's like, let's get the hex rod and let's get out of here now.
This
Sounds
thing
like a plan.
kind of gets up. All right, Ilix. Its combat is kind of tentatively over now, as most things
Okay.
are incapacitated.
All right. Ilix is just gonna try and grab this hex rod and hoist it over his shoulder and get the heck out of Dodge.
Do want to do one more thing as a combat action. I don't know if it matters. So since I saw the magic going back, I turn around and I'm like, not on my watch, and I start spooling up a little, looks like a mini sun, as I cast Cruel Sun back at the remains of the dragon. It's like, nope.
Basically, like basically like, so, so Zendira casting Cruel Sun is always hilarious because Zendira thinks he's like my fire bolts do like all this damage, and he like stores up the firebolt and it goes through, and then like Semyasa comes behind, he's like, oh yeah, fuck that thing, and then the firebolt like,
It's so big. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the damage if that's okay. I don't know if this matters at all, but I really don't like that thing. And 18 damage, 18 radiant damage.
so like slowly, so like you guys are like slowly getting this thing out, and like Rose is kind of putting his hands on Phoenix, trying to hold himself up, and as you guys like slowly crawl out, and this large radiant sun starts to just slowly like pass you guys. You're like, he's like, oh, I like that one.
And I'm gonna head and pick up Ekern.
Yeah. Sees that you guys are slowly coming out. Averin goes, ah, all right. So then I don't need to hold on to this anymore. And he goes, and he pushes, and the whole door goes, and it just kind of rolls, and then just kind of like flattens that whole corner. And then just hits the ground.
The world really is a better place for us being in it.
Oh. Oh, I can't. You guys came all the way down here to take one of those things. Okay. For saving my life. Sits down. I'll make a word to my family. I'm sorry. We made a purchase maybe a week and a half ago.
Just hold on. Slow down.
Can I
And
cast?
he
I'll cast.
walks over and Ilix casts Cure Wounds as well.
Oh. Oh, good.
Prince does nothing.
I can.
I'm standing there like,
I.
He gets 9 hit points back from Cure Wounds.
He
We
got 5
recently
from me.
purchased one of those. Came in a bundle. Didn't quite know. Shiny. Awesome looking, but not fucking worth it. So, you know, I'll let the lady up there. No, you guys did very well for me. Maybe Pops will give it to you. Have to ship it overseas. We just got it back, you know, to the islands. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it. We'll hook you up. I tell my boy Paulie, he'll hook you up every time. Family discount. Real nice guy.
It might just, you know.
On my daughter's birthday.
You're
Telling
part of the
you one
family now.
roses. You got the respect of the roses.
That's all fun and good, but okay, so you say your family bought one. Are you saying that we're gonna have access to it?
Oh yeah, it's screw all this. Like if this is what happens when they're around, I'm gonna tell them they don't want that brought to the family. So
Like, this is kind of
Prince
what
looks at
happens
him,
with those
grins,
around.
is like, "This is what
Okay.
happens. It is
Yeah, so
every
do
time,
that.
without fail."
Screw
Anybody else wondering
we'll
how
keep
long
it
it's been
safe
since we've
for
seen his
you.
family?
You know, well, I hang out around Ruskmire quite a bit, so you know.
Oh boy, oh. How long has it been since you've been home?
Oh, no, we haven't been home since we left. Most of the Rose family that went over to the Maelstrom. Hmm. So,
Oh no.
I'll bring you one. Ekron flies over to you, Trax, and goes, I believe you're holding on to these. And he whips his finger up, and the hex rod starts to float by, and it goes, and it shrinks from about 10 feet to about 2 to 3 inches, and goes and ping, and starts to rotate with the other one around your
I'm not gonna ever get used to that.
But this also means we cleared this space out for a seat, and we might be able to awaken the guardian, the maid of the library.
That sounds good.
Um,
That sounds good.
that's fantastic.
Librarians know a lot that could be very helpful.
That's
They read
good.
books.
Question. Mr. Roseman, where on the map are you? Like
Oh.
your family?
Well, he goes, out in Broskmeyer, there's the Lady Rose.
We own some real estate out in that direction, actually.
Thanks to her, she told me that.
Need to get
Okay.
some-
Can we navigate back there pretty easily then?
Averin goes, you guys took out the elevator. I'll let them know. They'll lower road
Oh.
for us.
Oh yeah, the elevator.
Yeah, there's that. Or I can fly. Yeah, I just like Dragon Ball.
We'll stop.
Speaking of flying, do we get to level up? Because I'm getting really close to flying.
Yeah. And that'll be the level up, and we'll stop there. You guys level up. Your next level.
Hey,
You guys grabbed another hex pod. You guys have another one on the way, as it was bought. I have now all of the locations, the ones that I will give away. So, with the Necro Lady, got that one. In the Frozen Wastes, you know about that one. In the ocean in the middle of the Maelstrom, you guys know about that one. Out in the floating debris, that's one.
That sounds pretty cool. That sounds like a good place to go once a couple people have flying speed.
You just now got the one that crashed into the sealed library, and then you are going to get the one bought by the Rose family for saving his life.
That probably sounds like kind of a side quest for clearing out the corruption at the Rose family location.
No, it's just bought. They bought it. Oh, there are plenty of other ones that are probably side quests, like used as a centerpiece for a statue in the treasure room of the Ooze City.
All right.
oh dear.
with otherworld Ilix with otherworld Ilia in pursuit.
Man.
That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah, I
Maybe the
ran
back
into
end of the butler this time,
Otherworld
okay?
Ilix on one of the one shots on the side quest.
And then the last one with death.
Oh. With death. Exclamation point. ...
With death.
Ooh.
And
All
that's
right.
Ilix likes level 7.
and that's
I don't know
all
what we're
10.
doing, but I think I need level 8 before I get my flying speed. So real close, real close.
All right.
Just turn into something small, and Katya can carry you because she just got wings.
Turn into something small, and we'll just
Like a
add
gnome?
Like a gnome, right?
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for playing.
All right.
This has been a
Yeah,
lot of
I'll try
fun.
to make the game not next week, but the week after that.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Preferably.
Later, guys.
Sounds like a
Take
plan.
care.